Sound resumed.
Sweet man was.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Shacknews Twitch channel. It's Monday, March the 4th. February's gone. March is here. The winter's almost up. We're here to talk about some electronic sports with our two electronic sports top boys, Blake and Asif. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hello.
So, it was a big weekend for electronic sports. Lots went down, lots to talk about. But before that, how were your weekends?
I was productive. It was a productive weekend, I would say.
Yeah, it was okay. I played some games. I watched a lot of esports. I'll tell you that much.
It's a wide world of electronic sports out there. Let me tell you, there's a lot to take in.
Did you guys?
It's almost like there's too much. There's simultaneously yesterday you had WoW, Hearthstone, and CS:GO all going at the same time. You're like, oh, where should I look?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a cornucopia of electronic sports.
Did you guys have any meals of food over the weekend that you'd be willing to discuss publicly?
Meals of food.
Any sauce?
I had 2 meals over the weekend. I am currently in the throes of a very, very regimented diet, and I really only eat one real meal a day. So I had Panera bread, or bread, as I like to call it, because Panera means bread. I went to bread, and I had a chicken salad there. And then yesterday I had some Indian food, a little curried cauliflower.
This sounds delightful.
Yeah, some ground lamb with onions. Great. I enjoyed it. What about you, Asif?
Yeah, I was getting over a stomach flu this weekend, so I was feeling a little bit better yesterday and the day before. So yeah, I had my favorite last night, Swenson's Drive-Ins for dinner. And then as I was leaving, my window wouldn't roll up. So that was what most of my afternoon was fixing my car window.
That's awful.
Yep. Especially because it's like 20 degrees here, and it was snowing yesterday. So
You had to drive home with like the window down in 20-degree weather. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That is exactly what I'm saying. It was about... Well, luckily I live like a third of a mile away from Swenson's, which is why I chose it to begin with. But yeah, it was not enjoyable.
You live almost close enough to use the Swenson's Wi-Fi.
Do they have Wi-Fi?
That's a good question. You'll have to tell us next week. You need to do some investigation on the spot. And if it's there, you may have to do an impromptu Periscope or whatever the app is where you know.
Krabs, I do have some sauce news for you.
Okay.
Because I did get some Wendy's this weekend too on Saturday. I don't know if you're privy to the packaging for their sauces, their sweet and sour sauce specifically, but they changed it. It's no longer like pink on a white background. It's like bold white letters on a purple background now.
This is groundbreaking news.
So there's some sauce news for you. They have changed the packaging. They haven't changed the sauce. It's still the same sweet and sour sauce. It's just packaged differently. So I did bring some sauce news to the table today.
Well, before I cut you guys loose on all that hot esports news, I figure we should take the time to recognize an old fallen friend. We had some rough news this morning that we lost one of the 90210 family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys saw this.
Yeah, Cleveland Browns fan Luke Perry passed away today.
Yeah, he had a stroke over the weekend,
and
apparently things did not go swimmingly.
Strokes are weird. Sometimes you can bounce back really well from them. Other times you can't really recover. It sounds like it was the latter in his case.
Yeah, it's shocking. Like I've been watching Riverdale recently too, and Luke Perry plays Archie's dad on that show, and it's
Mm-hmm.
been fantastic because it was almost like watching a character from 90210 like grow up and have a kid, which is sort of like Degrassi the Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Riverdale is just fantastic, like just fantastic, over the top, like cartoonish drama almost.
That's right.
That's a bummer. Also, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, one of the greatest films ever made, and Luke Perry was fantastic in that.
Yeah, he and Paul Rubens helped sell that movie hard.
Right, right, like for real.
Also, Luke was the bull rider in 8 Seconds. I remember him in that one. Although that movie may not be as big outside of the South.
No man, that was a big film. Even here in California, where
where you guys constantly ride bulls.
we're constantly freeing bulls.
Could you see yourself in another life possibly being a bull rider?
I could,
like if things shook out differently.
I'd more likely be the bull, honestly, than the bull rider, but
it's because you're so strong-willed.
Right? Yeah, I'm strong like bull, so that's how it would go. But I don't know.
Well, shout out to our 90210 fans. I'm assuming you're all out there if you're 30-something man children like us.
Shout out to Slayer Bill.
Slayer Bill
threw a bit at us just now.
That's actually, he posts that emoticon every time someone dies playing a game on this channel. So I guess it keeps within the theme that he would post that for our boy Luke.
That's Luke's bit right there.
That's Luke's bit. What's up, Lucci? All right, so before I turn you guys loose on the wild world of sports, we'll go ahead and remind folks that the news is always popping up on Shacknews.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can visit us there or on Twitter at Shacknews and on YouTube at Shacknews Games.
Oh,
so if it's happening there, it's probably worth reading.
Interestingly enough, a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about today was already posted on Shacknews.
Yeah, so you guys jump into it, and I'll fade into the back here like one of the vampires from Buffy.
So let's start. I kind of want to start with the Evo lineup, like, because that was that's the oldest news out of everything. It kind of came out, I think, the day.
It came out like
after,
Friday, didn't it?
No, it came out the day after our last episode. It came out on Tuesday. They had a stream Tuesday night, so we kind of missed it just by a day, and a couple hours. But yeah, there's some stuff that I think kind of jumped out at me. First of all, what the hell is Under Night in Birth?
I don't know.
Because apparently it made the main stage at Evo. So, like, we need someone on this. We need someone to tell us what Under Night in Birth is.
Is it even out yet?
It is. I think Ozzy said he saw it played one time somewhere. So
is this another Arc Systems game? Goodness, what is this?
I want to say yes, it is.
It definitely looks like an Arc Systems fighter.
I want to say yes, it is. It's Arc System Works. That's right. So yeah, it looks cool. It's just kind of I was kind of like, whoa, when they announced it. Especially because this is the first year since 2013 that there is no Smash Melee.
Dun, dun. But there's still a Smash game, right?
Yes, but you don't understand, man. Like, Smash Melee is a very old esport, and one that they lobbied to get back at Evo 2013. So it was a big deal when it came back. And, it still drew. I think it was the first or second stream of the main stage day last year. And it had like 170,000 viewers concurrent on Twitch. So it's not like it's a dead esport, or at least last year it wasn't. Now the question is, like you mentioned, Smash Ultimate it made the cut. So is Smash Ultimate going to supplant Melee in the esports scene? That's really a question that we'll have to see play out. I have seen some Smashers that were Melee pros like Leffen and Armada, Hungry Box to a lesser extent, that have made the jump, maybe not from the competitive scene, but they've been streaming Ultimate. Now, Leffen has participated in some tournaments, and so has Armada. So I think that there's some pros who kind of saw the writing on the wall, right? And
Yeah.
they were like, you know what? Maybe it's time to hedge my training a little bit. So they started practicing Ultimate when it came out. So I feel like some of these pros saw it coming, but it's still like, I told Ozzy when that news came out, I'm like, shit, do I need to have my own Melee tournament at EVO? And it'll very likely be one of those side tournaments that happen on the first few days. So
Now,
I still think it'll be there. It's just not being given that main stage showcase that it had in the past.
so is this, you were there, you were at Evo last year, and I can't recall if it was the Melee tournament or not, but you were saying you went to one Smash tournament and it was all Bayonetta and people were booing in the crowd, right? Was that
That's
the Melee
Smash
tournament?
4. That's
Okay.
Smash 4. Smash 4 is dead. That's not.
Okay.
It's deader than dead. Because Smash 4 was the Wii U Smash. Ultimate definitely has taken all of the pros from Smash 4 and pulled them into.
Could this be Nintendo's influence, though? Could
Yes.
Nintendo have approached Evo and been like,
I
"Look, we
would
want
say
people to buy this game"?
yes. I would say that there's a very, very large chance that Nintendo didn't want this broken game from 2003 to be featured on the main stage anymore. I think it's very likely, especially when they have a brand new Smash. And
Yeah.
I think Ultimate is the first time in a while where most of the Smash community is playing one game. Whereas, like, it was always Melee and Brawl, and then Melee and 4. But this, I think this is a time where they're actually trying to bring the community together. But it's sad, I really, I love watching Melee. It's so damn fast paced. And that it's different than Smash 4 totally, and it's definitely different than Ultimate. So it's a different game. It deserves its place somewhere. And I get why Nintendo would want the big stage to be focused on the brand new game that's for sale. It makes a lot of sense from a marketing standpoint. But yeah, so let's just go down this list. Tekken 7, great fighting game.
One of my personal favorites.
Definitely deserves to be on the main stage. Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. A game that's gotten a lot better since launch, right?
Yeah, I still have you. I mean, I played it with you guys a little bit on a live stream.
That's right.
But that is the most I have played Street Fighter V, which honestly, it kind of bums me out because I love the Street Fighter series, and I just maybe I've just become jaded in my old age.
Probably.
That could be it, yeah. But as long as Blanca's like DLC, right? Like I have to pay to play as Blanca, right?
No.
Or is Blanca free? If Blanca's free, that definitely incentivizes me more.
Yeah, that's when I jump back in.
You can buy them with in-game stuff you make from playing. You don't have to pay money.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. So then also going down the list, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. That's been at several Evos. There's a very dedicated pro scene to that, and it's fun to watch. I feel like it's kind of taken some of that MVC crowd, because Marvel vs. Capcom is noticeably absent again.
Both BlazBlue and Guilty Gear, the Guilty Gear series, and I'm assuming Under Night as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're very technical fighters.
Yes.
Like it's those games are so nuanced, and you got to know so much about every system in the game to really play on a pro level. Like I really consider them super high caliber stuff because I don't really comprehend, like most of these games I can at least wrap my head around the meta game, even though I'm not good at it. But as much as I love the BlazBlue and Guilty Gear series, I can definitely never get. I can never, I have trouble with the high end concept.
Sure. Continuing on this list, though, we mentioned Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is its first time at Evo. Last Evo, Nintendo had a booth where they were demoing Smash Ultimate at Evo, so it was there. It just wasn't a tournament. This is the first Evo championship for Smash Ultimate, and it's going to come at a time where, hopefully, by then, the Smash Bros. Pros or the Smashers out there will have figured out this meta because it continues to baffle me, like what the best main is. I don't know if there is a best main in that game. Although we know for sure is that Little Mac sucks. That's the
Really?
one. That's the one thing that everyone can agree with is that Little Mac is the worst.
He's only good against racist stereotypes. I mean, that's his history.
Yeah, it's almost like they should make another Punch Out game. Not
Is that
surprising.
even possible in 2019?
Yes, it is. They made one for Wii, and it wasn't terrible. Another game that shouldn't surprise anyone is coming back. The record holder for most concurrent views at an Evo tournament, Dragon Ball Fighters, is making its second appearance at the at Evo.
Yeah, and it's on Saturday this time, right?
That is weird.
Right?
Yeah, it is. It's on Saturday.
They must just be trying to drive up Saturday attendance, I'm guessing.
I think it's viewership. They want to drive up Saturday viewership because what happens on Sunday, and I was talking to Ozzy about this when the news broke. What happens on Sunday is that these things always take longer than expected. So last year, Fighters kind of slipped into Street Fighter's time slot. So the year before, Street Fighter V was the most viewed. But because of just delays and all those technical hiccups, especially with Melee, because Melee is a CRT, right? I think, I don't know who, but someone was probably upset that Dragon Ball Fighters got the most views. So they're like, you know what? You're going to watch this on Saturday anyway. Dragon Ball fans are pretty rabid. So yeah, I think it was that move. But yeah, it was definitely surprising to hear that, but I wasn't surprised to hear it come back. The next game on the list, I was kind of shocked. Soul Calibur 6 is going to be at Evo on the main. Why?
I don't know. It's out of all the Soul Calibur games of recent memory, like it's definitely probably the most balanced and the most sort of current, I guess, as far as like fighting game trends go.
Mm-hmm.
The most current of the series. I'm honestly like, if you look here, Bandai Namco represents more than any other company.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they have.
I agree, but that's why I was like, if I was Bandai, I'd just be going all in on hyping up Tekken 7 because I think Tekken is, I don't know, they're both kind of, it's hard to say that Tekken is better to watch because Pro Tekken, it devolves into very close combat grapples and whatnot. So maybe Soul Calibur 6 will be more entertaining to watch, but I don't recall this series as an esport really. So like, yeah, I guess it's just me kind of having my own bias, right? I didn't really think it was an esport. Granted, yeah, anything can be an esport, but it's more of a game that I would rather just play with my friends having fun, you know? So
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised to see that.
I get that. Yeah, I personally feel like I like Tekken more than Soul Calibur itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, but maybe there just might have been like we were talking about Nintendo having deals. Or Bandai Namco has similar deals, especially since I feel like Dragon Ball Fighters kind of put them on top of the fighting game scene in general. It also, I think, gave a lot more credibility to Arc System's catalog.
Yeah, sure.
They've always had a strong following, but I feel like that gave them some mainstream success and credibility. that
Well,
because if you talk about games like Street Fighter and Dragon Ball Fighters, to people that aren't into the fighting scene, they'll know what you're talking about. But start bringing up Blaz Blue and Guilty Gear,
sure.
that's a little more obscure.
Sure. This next game, though, I think has a chance to unseat fighters this year at Evo. MK11 Mortal Kombat coming back to
Hells
Evo.
yeah. Dun, dun,
That's
dun, 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 dun.
Now that's a fun game to watch competitively, and I'm into it. We had Sonic Fox. He tweeted out that he might enter 3. He said he's definitely thinking, fighters, right? He wants to defend his
Yeah.
Evo title. But he's looking at Mortal Kombat 11. I can't remember what the third one was. I think it was either Samurai Showdown, which we hadn't mentioned
Yeah.
it. The next one up on the lineup is Samurai Showdown is going to have its new game. It's not even out yet. It's going to be at Evo. That was kind of surprising too.
Yeah. Samurai Showdown, a classic series. I love it. Love everything about it. Love samurais. Love fighting games where you get weapons and things. And I have played all of the Samurai Showdown, like the classic ones. I haven't played any of the 3D Samurai Showdowns, and this looks to sort of be taking a page out of the Street Fighter 4 and 5 aesthetics book. This time around, I'm gonna be getting a peek at this pretty soon. I'm really looking forward to it. All I know is like I saw the trailer. They revealed it during the Evo announcement. They're like, yeah, here's Samurai Showdown, by the way.
Yeah, they showed off a trailer of it, and then people went. It was pretty damn exciting when they made that announcement. I was surprised by it. That's the one where I'm not mad about it. I'm more excited about seeing Samurai Showdown competitively. My main concern is when the game launches, because Evo's in late July, early August, right? And Samurai Showdown's supposed to launch in June, so it better launch in a good state, because these players aren't going to have a whole lot of time to get good at it. You know what I mean?
I think that's what's interesting about it too is gonna be a level. I'd imagine that people are gonna be going back and playing the other Samurai Showdowns, figuring stuff out to get ready for it. Because I mean, it is still the same series. You're gonna see a lot of the same characters. Obviously, timing and balance are gonna be different, but you can sort of get an idea of what to expect from going back and playing the iterations. Just like how we all know how to do a Hadouken fighter too.
True.
Yeah,
True.
So it's a similar thing there. Galford's in it, and that's all I really care about. Galford is like the ninja dude with a dog companion. That's my Samurai Showdown main. So I'm good to go. I also like playing as the I can't remember his name right now, but the Undead Samurai series.
I guess technically
That's
this
like
is Samurai Spirits, not Showdown, that's going to be there. It's the sequel or spiritual successor, whatever you want to call it.
Samurai Spirits, really?
Isn't that's the trailer that Chris is showing right now on stream? I think that was what was announced. This is going to be called Samurai Spirits, not Showdown.
Really? I think it's
Or
Samurai Showdown.
Or it's Samurai Showdown : Spirits, or I don't know.
This is the game that was unveiled at the Evo announcement, so if there's another one, I haven't found it yet.
Yeah, I think they're calling it Samurai Spirits, but we'll see.
Weird.
And then, we already mentioned Under Night and Birth, which is a thing that we all need to learn about. That's going to be our homework between now and Evo, is learning that game. Or at least learning of its existence.
Got more homework.
Yep, more homework.
Jeez Louise.
So that's the Evo lineup. The big headline was that Melee is not going to be part of the main stage, which there's a large Melee community that's pretty bummed out about that. But at the same time, I think this is going to force them into Ultimate, which in the long run is probably going to be a good thing. Because it'll make the player base bigger for Ultimate, and it'll maybe the healing process will begin.
We're gonna be we're gonna see more coming for the latest Smash.
What do you mean? Like more?
Like I feel like Nintendo's gonna be supporting the game for a while.
Oh yeah.
As far as
Junktown in the chat said, Spirits is the Japanese name for the series. Thank you. And then Court the Jester says, Under Night's PS4 online community is still going strong, I think. I believe you. I just had no idea what... that was one of those moments where I was like, Ozzy, what is this? He's like, oh yeah, that's a thing. And that was about all we really could say at the time. But yeah, we'll learn it, and we will be experts at it by the time it's.
I'm sure Court the Jester could explain it for us. He's an expert in such matters.
Awesome. So yeah, that was definitely the Evo news of the week, and it was really exciting. I'm excited to see Evo come back to.
I'm excited to see Sonic Fox defend his title. Mm-hmm. That's going to be exciting. And he just recently won an Injustice tournament, right?
Maybe. I know that he lost the Fighters season 1 finale.
I know that he
earlier this year.
He won a tournament, the tournament where he won $10,000 and donated it to his opponent's father's.
That was last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
He won. Yeah, he donated. That was in November. He donated $10,000 of the prize money to his opponent's family.
That's right, but that was that was one of the NetherRealm Warner Brothers fighters. So
Injustice 2.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. So yeah, Injustice 2 plays really similarly to the Mortal Kombat series. So,
oh, totally. It's NetherRealm.
Yeah. So if he's good at that stuff, he's probably gonna look pretty good in Mortal Kombat 11, and everyone's gonna get their hands on that next month. Very excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he was at the preview event for it too. So Sonic Fox had some hands on with it already. Yeah, he is filthy. He's filthy at a lot of fighting games. When he puts his mind to it, he's pretty unstoppable. There's a lot of practice required. So for him to say that he wants to enter 3 tournaments, that's gonna be challenging.
It's bold, it's ambitious, and I think it's good. He's pushing himself and challenging himself, and yeah, even if he loses all 3 because he's exhausted and he overdid himself, at least now he's going to know his limits going in. Next. I personally
think he's kind of tired of fighters. I think there's. He is like there was a discussion that the meta had gotten kind of boring and it just wasn't that fun to him. It seemed, and like. When Smash came out, he was like, maybe I'll be a Smash pro. Now he's like, I'm going to go into MK. It just seems like he wants to branch out from fighters, which it's not a bad idea.
When is
MK11 coming?
When is Evo going to feature WWF No Mercy or Fight Night Round 2? Those are games.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know if a WWE game deserves to ever be on that stage.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm sorry, man. They're just
sorry, Chris.
In their current state, I guess No Mercy was good, but I mean, like their current state, they're pretty terrible games. I think you would agree with me there.
Oh yeah, that's why I said No Mercy.
Yeah,
I haven't played a wrestling game in earnest since the Nintendo 64 days.
They haven't improved since then.
I have no idea what I was doing back then.
You guys play the first Def Jam game that was made by the 64 wrestling game developers?
Yeah.
That was a hoot.
That was pretty solid. Def Jam Fight for New York, right?
I think that was the first one. They also got fired and they brought other people in. But I don't remember what the later games were called. I think it was Def Jam Vendetta was the one that AKI made. Or Aki or whatever.
Beardswin asks, do we have a favorite fighting game that's in the current tourney rotation? Oh, mine is definitely Smash Ultimate. I love that game.
I'm gonna go with Tekken 7. I still play a bunch of Tekken 7
Mm-hmm.
and go in and I love making custom characters in Tekken 7. I've made the entire Belcher family from Bob's Burgers. Uh, I turned Bob, the character Bob in Tekken 7, into Super Mario, as well as Gene Belcher. um, I and I haven't downloaded the current season pass, but they just added Julia, who is one
Mm-hmm.
of my favorite fighters. So yeah, I'm sticking with Tekken 7 as much as I love Dragon Ball Fighters. Uh, it just doesn't have the same place in my heart as the Tekken.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually I prefer watching Tekken 7 more than playing it. I'm just not very good at it. And yeah, you're right. The character customization options are crazy. Also in Soul Calibur 6, the creative player stuff got really out of hand last year. I don't know if
Oh
you
yeah.
remember there was I think I saw Yoshi in there. There's a really good video game donkey video about that. I think we're showing footage of that Def Jam game right now. This is outstanding.
Yeah.
Scarface versus Spider.
Honestly,
Yeah, but
The Def Jam games are a glaring omission from my personal private collection of games.
mhm. But yeah, I would love to watch this at Evo. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think Def Jam is getting into the sponsorship game for electronic sports yet. If you're out there, I don't think Russell Simmons owns it anymore, right? Yeah,
I think he sold it. I think he
yeah,
sold everything.
yeah. So I think it's Damon Dash or someone else is in charge of that now.
Yeah. And there was
So yeah,
a big hubbub over the weekend about Tommy Boy releasing De La Soul's dog
hmm.
free. So
Okay,
that
well,
was I don't know, that's a whole other thing.
but yeah, that's basically all the Evo news we have for now. But yeah, I'm still into Smash, and yeah, there's more DLC characters to come to Smash still. So I think the big problem, you had referred to Bayonetta last year at Evo. I saw what the hell is this? I
De
saw
La Soul.
they're just was that like a cutscene in the game or something?
No, that's just the Me, Myself, and I video.
Okay, got it. I was a little confused for a second there. Um, yeah, there's I think there's 4 or 5 more DLC characters coming to Smash, and that could change the balance of power. That's what happened with Bayonetta in in Smash 4. She came in as a DLC character. Cloud came in as a DLC character, and both of them were pretty much OP. Bayonetta could literally go further off screen than anyone else with her jumps. She could also jump under the level and recover on the other side. She could do things that no other players could do. And that's why last Evo, you had Smash 4 on day 2. The semifinals were 3 Bayonettas and like 1 Shake, I think. And ultimately it was 2 Bayonettas in the finals. Most people, not everyone, I stayed there. Most people got up and left when it was 2 Bayonettas in the finals. And I was like, yep, I just watched an esport die. Uh, and yeah, in Ultimate, they nerfed her big time. So now she is not the OP one. It's really hard to say who is the best character in Smash right now. Uh, and yeah, no update from Zero. He's still maining the same 2 characters. So it's Wolf and Lucina. So there's your update on who Zero is playing as. I was also talking to Ozzy. It seems like Zero will probably enter Evo because it's unlikely that they'll let him co-stream. And that's been the main reason why he hasn't attended Smash tournaments this year. He co-streamed Frostbite last week, and he co-streamed Genesis the month before. So I hope we get to see Zero enter the ring again. He's been diversifying outside of Smash, playing a lot of other games. I saw him streaming Dark Souls last week. But yeah, Court the Jester, they definitely nerfed Bayonetta. And Zero was kind of a victim of Bayonetta. He was a Diddy Kong main, and was wrecking people until Bayonetta came into the scene, and then he lost to one of the preeminent Bayonetta and Smash 4 players, Salem, who just was let go by his team. So yeah, things are moving. If you have these people that dedicate their lives to just playing as one character, and then a patch comes out, and there goes all the meta, right? So it's really an interesting time for Smash Pros, because 3.0 is coming, I think, next month, and that could change things again. It seems like with the big numbered updates, they're going to be making a lot of character tweaks. With 2.0, they did. 2.0 made K. Rool much worse. Before that, people thought K. Rool might have been the best. So it's interesting to see what version number we're going to be at by the time Evo rolls around, and how many of those DLC characters are out by then, because that'll change everything. But, so yeah, let's move on to some of the events that happened last weekend. How about that?
That sounds good. Let's start. Do you want to start with the CS:GOs?
Yeah, we should start with CS:GO,
because this is kind of there's kind of a bigger story going. There's a few big stories that came out, actually, really, if you want to get technical, from this week's IEM. Yeah, so
there you go, Lucci. You got your CS:GO coverage. You just had to wait a week.
Man,
he was complaining last week, and then bam, here you go, CS:GO up on your face. Chris, if you scroll down, there are a couple of clips that I posted to Twitter that were just, as I have to say, just at the very beginning. Holy crap, is CS:GO so much more fun to watch than Overwatch League? It's not even funny. There's no comparison. Intense. Just watch this. This guy's filthy. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's just like a bunch of random characters put together. But these guys are nutty. Astralis, they're basically like the Golden State Warriors of CS:GO right now. They won back-to-back majors, and now this is their third major. What's cool about this team, it's one of the few esports teams that's actually partially owned by the players, which I think is kind of cool.
That's smart. I think that's great incentive, right?
Yep.
If you're not just part of the team, but you're take real ownership over it, that's going to give you a sense of pride, and it's also going to incentivize you to keep bringing in those big purses, even more so, because you're going to get an even bigger cut.
That's right. So yeah, there's definitely some heavy hearts at IEM. You had Peter Rothman, also known as Dupree, with an H. His father passed away the week of this event, and instead of staying home with his family and grieving, he went to the tournament and competed, and then won the whole damn thing, which was just amazing. It was really a touching moment at the opening ceremonies at IEM, where the commentator kind of said, "Look, we have two people here who are grieving, and yeah, one of them went on to win." So it was really cool to see that embrace at the end of the match, where they all kind of came together. But yeah, Astralis they're filthy. It's not even close.
I think their closest match over the weekend was 16-11. Right. So they had, even at their closest, there's still a 5-game gap.
Yeah, and it wasn't like there was never a moment where you're like, "Uh-oh, Astralis might lose this." It was just like, okay, they made a mistake, or sometimes luck doesn't go your way. It's all about these different, with CS:GO, it's about the different like progressions through the levels. So it's like it kind of goes in chunks of 4. Usually, if you win that first one, you could win 4. So yeah, that second round though on Inferno was just insane. They were completely locked in. The team was communicating. The crowd was behind them. It was really fun to watch. And like we were talking about how I'm not really digging Overwatch League from a spectator's perspective. What they get right in CS:GO, and I think it's the nature of the game too, It's very simple to understand what's going on in CS:GO. Bomb planted, bomb defused, whatever. And also, if you look at the screen right now, the amount of information that's just right there for you that you can see, and how they show you when someone dies and when someone's alive. It's just, I think someone who had never seen CS:GO before, you can watch a CS:GO major and understand what's happening within a few minutes. Where I just don't think that's the case in Overwatch League. I think Overwatch is definitely faster, but it's also that perspective thing. Not once do you see them break into some sort of third-person perspective here, or bird's eye view. It's always from the perspective of the player, which I think is super immersive.
Yeah, I think the thing with Overwatch is the action is more fast-paced, but the matches are longer usually.
Mm-hmm.
This is CS:GO is really clean cut, and the game has been around for a long time, so there's a lot of deeper strategies that have pretty much been made over just the course of time. Not to mention, people have just been playing it so long that the skill level for some of these players is insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, how old is CS:GO now? It's crazy, and it's got the staying power. And you know, I don't want to get too down on Overwatch, but you walk into a GameStop nowadays, and all the Overwatch stuff is on clearance.
Yeah,
you know, it's really it's starting to die off a little bit in its popularity.
So CS:GO came out in 2012,
and still going strong.
but what is it? CS Source,
yeah,
right? That's
2003.
2004, I guess. Counter-Strike original OG came out in 2000. So yeah, the game's been around for a very long time. The concepts have been around for a long time. And yeah, I just think that I think it's really interesting to me because, like, you know, Activision had all these layoffs recently, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna bet really big on Overwatch League. I'm like, that's a bold move, Cotton. I'm not really sure if that's what I would be doing right now. It's like, I can't imagine paying $25 million just for a franchise in Overwatch League. That's how much it costs just to get in. That was for the first team.
It's just one of those things. The way that trends work in the gaming industry is so corny sometimes. It's like one indie game is successful, and then everyone's like, "Oh, indie games," and that's the big push for a year or two. You know, remember? And then everyone's like, rhythm games, and that was the big push. And like the last few years, after it was MOBAs, now it's been esports, and everyone's like, oh yeah, we're really focusing on making this an esports title. We really want to build an esports community around it. Esports. And I think now people are realizing, like, the reason that the games that are successful in the electronic sports world are successful not because they tried to be an electronic sports game, but because they tried to be a good, balanced, competitive multiplayer game.
Mm-hmm.
Period. You know, Counter-Strike, this CS:GO wasn't made because electronic sports was a big thing that they needed to cash in on, I guess is what I'm getting at.
No, they were just making a good new version of a very competitive shooter. A very fun, good multiplayer competitive shooter. They weren't, and I think when a company sits down and says, we're going to make a game that's going to be an esport, they're almost destined to fail. It's about getting those elements right that leads to a game being a successful esport, not designing it to be an esport,
Yeah. Like, I think Electronic Arts had and they're not the only people, but like a lot of big companies, that one of their mandates is you gotta have like competitive multiplayer in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been shoehorned into so many things just because companies feel like you gotta try and reach that market.
Yeah. I do want to just real quick mention in Overwatch League, the Shanghai Dragons did win their second match ever over the Chengdu Hunters. They won 4-0 on Friday, March 1st. But then they went right back to Shanghai Dragons fashion on Saturday and lost 2-3 against the Dallas Fuel. So there's some Overwatch news for you real quick. But
That's
yeah, let's
still
get.
they're
Yeah,
still up on it. They're still up, right?
they're 2-3 on the season.
Poor
And
Dragons.
but the New York Excelsior continued to win. They're 6-0. I think that we're still setting up that Shanghai versus New York final. That's what I'm pulling for this year.
Yeah, that's. I think we're both on that same page. I am. Yeah, who's gonna win my love here? That's what it what it boils
So
down
yeah,
to.
but getting back to CS:GO real quick, I think you pronounce his name Xypix XYP9X, however you want to say that. He is ridiculously good. If you go to
Yes.
the second clip on our article page, Chris, you can see him. It was a 2-on-1 that he was down to in on the train level, and he just you put me in that situation, I'm gonna die. You put a pro in that situation, and it was masterful to see. Yeah, it's that second one right there.
Yeah, he almost.
Just how he positioned
They,
himself in a way where they couldn't see him. They literally walked right by him.
I think one
Uh,
person walks over him,
yeah,
right?
and then he
Yeah.
just it was filthy.
Yeah,
But yeah, I was
he
really
makes it
impressed
look.
with that.
He makes it look easy. Like, you watch something like that, and you're like, oh, I could probably
Yep, right there.
rap
It's
and then blap. But no, I would. Yeah, I would die. I would die trying to do that. Yeah.
you see, instantly jumps up and is just hype as hell. He just this is just one example of his excellence, but he was locked in the whole tournament, and it's just that kind of talent. I really think it translates across games. Like what he did in CS:GO, I could see that work in a Quake match. I could see that in any kind of shooter. I could see that talent,
Oh yeah,
translate. So it was
absolutely.
really impressive to see him. He kind of led the team, and granted, CS:GO is a team effort, but when you have like one of those outstanding individuals, they can definitely lead. And I think he was the person that so many times you saw like he was it was 2-on-1 and it was at a very crucial moment in the match. He held it in for them, so it was really cool to see.
And yeah, that was they just crushed it the whole weekend, like the whole team. But yeah, you have people like Mr. Unpronounceable name. I'm not even gonna try.
I think it's Xypix.
Ziffix.
Do we want to say it's Xypix? And I guess he isn't even the best player on his team, but he was playing out of his mind in that final.
Yeah,
If you turn the 9 around, you get some. So Xypix. I think we're gonna decide that his name is Xypix.
stick with
I
that for
guess.
now.
Uh,
Zipski.
Zipski.
I'm gonna go with Zipski.
I don't know. I'm gonna let our Russian correspondent weigh in here. Bad Kitty, this is the wide world of electronic sports. This is where Blake and I talk about esports, and Chris is also here.
Chris
Sauce.
chimes in.
And we talk about sauce too.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do have the sauce talk. Sometimes before, sometimes after,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes in between.
Yeah, no, Pete, you make a really good point. Their whole team is stacked, and it was just in that grand final where I saw Xypix kind of just go off. Also, Dupree had a moment where I think it was a 2-on-3. You had Xypix and Dupree left, and they just wrecked. So it was really exciting to see them just really come together as a team and win and kind of rally around what Dupree was going through. And he tweeted out. I think it was last night. He said, "This one is for you, Dad. 3-time champion, back to back." And it was a picture of himself hugging his dad. So yeah, it's crazy. These guys and gals in esports, they put themselves through so much training, so much time. Dupree easily could have. I think no one would have faulted him if he said, "Look, I need to spend this week with my family." But it's hard not to appreciate a guy who would do that for his team.
It's
You
something
know.
you see a lot in sports in general, not just electronic sports.
Sure.
People, and I think it's cathartic for a lot of people. Frankly, you can sit around and sort of just sad and grief stricken and heartbroken, or you can sort of channel that into drive,
Hmm.
and it's unfortunate in some cases that not everybody gets a win on like a day when they could really use one, but uh you know at least there was a win out of this one.
Hmm.
I guess you play because you don't want to let your teammates down. You play because like it might be helping you work through the grief, but you don't always come home with that trophy. Like there was another competitor
Hmm.
at the same tournament whose mother passed away
Yeah.
that weekend. They're just going home with more heartbreak, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Like
It,
it goes both ways.
you mentioned how this happens in sports too. It reminds me of when Isaiah Thomas was on the Celtics. His sister had died during, I think, the playoff run, and the whole team really rallied around Isaiah. And the city of Boston at the time really rallied around him as he continued to play through that grief. And he had probably some of his best games ever as an NBA player during that moment. So,
And then they shipped him off.
and then they traded him after he got hurt. So yeah, without that part, Chris, it's actually similar. But no, I agree, Pete. I think Astralis, I think you could argue they're the best esports team across any game in the world right now, that's saying a lot. And it's really fun to watch excellent play. You know, like when uh, like when I wasn't a Bulls fan, but I could appreciate when we were witnessing what Michael Jordan was doing. You know, and seeing Astralis do what they're doing, it's really amazing to see. Another thing I thought was kind of weird about this, I watched most of yesterday's grand finals. They had a sponsor called Betway. Have you heard of this? You can
No.
you can gamble on esports apparently.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I can as
I
a
no.
professional electronic sports
Oh no,
commentator.
I'm not saying we should. Hey guys, let's all go out and gamble on esports. I'm saying that you can. I'm saying that it's actually possible. I was talking with Ozzy in chat about this yesterday. I was like, "What's to stop someone or a team from betting against themselves and tanking?"
Good question. I feel like a lot of things that have already happened, and in athletic sports,
Mm-hmm.
they really didn't take any of that into heart when designing any of the rules for any of these leagues. Like there's no real drug testing policies in place for a lot of these sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like you're talking about here, there's nothing to stop a team from throwing a match. Uh, it's really weird. You'd think that there would have been procedures put in place for all this stuff because there's just
Okay, so
all of this.
sorry to interrupt. There have been moments where players have been banned in Dota and CS:GO for doing that. Okay, and they did it and they got lifetime bans. Okay, got it. Uh, yeah, I'm surprised we don't hear about that more. I guess, and it seems like we're talking about CS:GO. That's like a team thing. It seems like fighting games would lend itself to this. Then the other side of me goes, I go to Evo. I've been to Evo several years in a row. Why doesn't the sports book at Mandalay Bay just literally start taking bets? If this is where we're going, like go all out, because when you're at
I
Evo,
mean,
in the seats, dude, at Evo, you have these guys running around between games like, hey, I got $20 on Armada. Hey, I got this, and they're just getting all this action. Uh, Literally, just if we're gonna go full gambling, let's go full gambling. I guess is my point. But yeah, I was fascinated that given what Junktown is saying about banning players for this, that you're still going to have them be your sponsor is kind of fascinating to me.
Well, it's not their fault that those people did something illicit, right?
Yeah.
they just
Yeah.
they just gave them the means,
Mm-hmm.
Like you put a bottle of booze in front of somebody, and they get in a car afterwards, like
Mm-hmm.
to the person that made the alcohol, or do who's responsible there? It's that individual.
I'm gonna link Dupree's tweet in the chat for anyone who wants to retweet it or like it. But yeah, no, it was really it's cool to see what's happening with Astralis. I just think they're fun to watch. Keep an eye on them the rest of the year. Once you see a streak like this with back-to-back majors, now it's like, well, how many in a row can they win? Apparently, we're gonna watch some Japan World Cup now. But yeah, that was some of the most fun I've had watching esports in a while. Honestly, was watching the CS:GO major.
Right on. Yeah, it looked like it was a hot one.
Yep. So I didn't watch this. Ozzy covered it, but we should probably mention it. Hearthstone was also having an event. I think at the exact same, around the same area.
Yeah, this was
And
this was to find out who's moving on to the grand finals, right?
mm-hmm.
This is the Hearthstone Winter Championship.
So Roger won.
Roger took it home
Mm-hmm.
against
Bunny Hopper.
Bunny Hopper, yeah. And it sounds like dude just got overwhelmed. It looks like he came back. Bunny Hopper started coming back around the third game, but didn't really quite come together for him. So I mean that was it. Here's what I found interesting: so this is to determine pretty much the last 4 players moving on to this weekend's World Championship. Also,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Sorry.
So
Yeah. No, there's still a whole lot more Hearthstone to come, but this was
yeah.
it was definitely fun, and it seems I wish we had Ozzy in here. He knows what he's talking about. I have checked out materially from playing Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Who has the time? There's so much time. Does anyone in chat still play Hearthstone?
But here's what I loved. I didn't know about this card, but apparently there's a Leroy Jenkins card.
Mm-hmm.
And Ike versus Definition. Ike used it to pretty much clinch his victory. It was all downhill from Definition from here. I got like a bunch of lucky draws, but yeah, seeing a Leroy Jenkins like clinch a match like that was really amusing for me, just as somebody who honestly pays very little attention, if any at all, to Hearthstone at this point.
Yeah,
I had my bandmate Victor in Cartoon Violence. He was a big Hearthstone player when it came out, and he tried to coach me through it, and I was just lost.
Mm-hmm.
Same reason I don't play Magic a lot anymore is like I love Magic the Gathering. I love that game. I grew up playing it, but I always sucked at it. And like Hearthstone, I really knew nothing about it when I just got my ass kicked a bunch, so I was just like, okay, this isn't for me.
I mean, it's just something that you have to stay on. They did update it recently and made some serious balance changes. So it's, from what I was reading in the chatty, it seems to have improved. A lot of people are happy with the changes that have been made. But I just wanted to mention it in passing. I think one of these days we're gonna have to drag Ozzy onto stream to talk Hearthstone.
Yeah, I was just gonna have to explain why he likes Hearthstone. That's basically it.
No, it's not why
But
he
no,
likes
no, no,
Hearthstone.
I
It's not
know.
that. It's not that. It's not that. It's just that he's been our Hearthstone guy for quite some time. Court the Jester says he's been playing Magic the Gathering Arena. You should tune into last week's episode, especially the beginning, because we had an interview with them.
Yeah.
Bear stopped by from Wizards of the Coast to talk to us.
Yeah. Do you think now that Magic Gathering Arena is entering the foray that's gonna affect Hearthstone at all, or do you think Hearthstone has cemented itself?
I don't want to say that Blizzard or Activision has cemented anything in anywhere. I think that Hearthstone might see some kind of weakness, but I think there's room for both. There's Ozzy. I think there's room in the world for both. I don't think that one has to take away from the other. It's not a Fortnite Apex situation. Speaking of which, Fortnite, yeah, they're still doing things.
Fortnite, of course, they're doing things.
Yeah,
Fortnite
season 8 just came out. You know, we actually left out some Smash news that I kind of want to jump to. Light is the final entry into the Smash Summit. They're doing these like qualifiers for the Smash Ultimate Summit, and now we have the attendees: Armada, Plup, Mewtwo King, Leffen, Mango, MKLeo, Dabuz, Nairo, Cosmos, Void, Samsora, Zero, Gluttony, ZD, and Zachary will be joined by Light. That's a pretty awesome lineup there. So it's going to be cool to see.
Nice. I'm guessing that you're predicting Zero's going to take it home.
I don't think so. Zero is... We haven't really seen him play much. You know? Like, he's been streaming, but he's not in these tournaments. So honestly, if out of those guys, I think Plup or MKLeo. So the summit's gonna go down Friday, March 8th, right? So just remember, next week, ask me, we can hold me accountable, but I'm gonna say Plup and MKLeo would be the guys to watch. And then right behind them, I would say Nairo, Zero, Armada, and Leffen. Leffen's a wild card because when he gets hot, he gets really hot. He's still figuring out the right main, I think, because he was like all in on Pokemon Trainer, and then Pokemon Trainer kind of got nerfed, so he's had to kind of switch around a little bit. But yeah, I would say that my gut says that either MKLeo or Plup are going to win the whole thing. But I'm excited. You know, what's cool about this list is that there's Melee and Smash 4 players that are on this list. That's what we were talking about that earlier in the show, right? Where Ultimate's kind of bringing together the communities. Yeah. This is another example of that.
Nice. Court Jester says he thinks Leffen is the dark horse
for sure
for this tournament.
I think if Leffen, like I saw him win Melee last year, like when Leffen is on the Jazz, I don't think you can stop him. But if he's not focused, I don't think he's the best player. I think the most consistent player out of that bunch is MKLeo, and I've seen Plup do some serious work. He got Light just beat Salem, went to hug his boy, and then shake hands with Salem, because there's some Salem shade out there.
His boy who he beat in the final, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the final matchup.
Yeah,
that tournament, I believe, was he went and hugged Isam.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
but
then they faced off in the final as well. So,
but yeah,
it seemed to be no one lost.
But shout out to Light. He's having. You can just see how excited he was in that tweet that we have in the article. But yeah, it's cool to see the two communities come together. I think we're gonna see more of that. Leffen is a melee player, so it's gonna be interesting. The first time a melee player wins an ultimate tournament, it's gonna shake a lot of the Smash community. So we haven't had that just yet. We've had, I think Leffen has had some top 8s, some top 16 placements in these tournaments. But if he actually wins one, oof. Also, watching Isam in with a Pikachu is always awesome. I'm loving seeing Pikachu at these competitions now, because at launch people weren't super high on Pikachu, but it seems like Pikachu's actually becoming higher tier.
Probably as Nintendo prepares to launch Detective Pikachu.
Well, it's weird. Everyone likes to say Nintendo does stuff when it comes to Pokemon, but really, the Pokemon Company is a separate entity from Nintendo. Nintendo owns 30% of the Pokemon Company. So the Pokemon Company does whatever the Pokemon Company wants to do. But Nintendo's like one of their biggest cheerleaders, I guess, right?
I mean, Nintendo, they own stake in it. They want to see it succeed, right?
Sure.
And, the Pokemon.
I think in this game though, the characters that they buff to increase the popularity of the game, I think it's the Fire Emblem characters. They have no business being this powerful, except that they want people to think Fire Emblem is cool.
They just want people to play with those characters, probably, right? I mean, Fire Emblem is a popular title, but it's also not everyone's cup of tea.
It's a game. It's a series that was made more popular because of Smash.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I think that that's just Metroid Prime 4. Did I just see that? They're giving away Metroid Prime 4. Why you do this? And there's Tweak and his and Wario. Yeah, man. Wario's really good.
There's no Waluigi though, still.
Yeah, you can go play tennis. He plays tennis.
Wow. Do you think that'll be one of the DLC characters? Do you think we'll ever get a Waluigi?
No way. I think you're gonna get Doom Guy. I think you might get Master Chief. Yeah. Yeah, I think Doom Guy and Master Chief.
Marcus Phoenix, maybe?
No. You're gonna get the Minecraft dude. What's his name? Chris, you know the character's name?
Steve.
Steve from Minecraft. Banjo from Banjo-Kazooie. Or Banjo and Kazooie.
I'm still...
who else. And then, you get Joker from Persona 5, or from the Persona series.
I'm still waiting for Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Are you Chris, of course, playing one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah, Me and my friends used to bet big money on this after we got wasted like 10 years ago.
This game is still good. I think it's great to just have as B-roll when we're not talking about anything specific. But yeah, those were like the three things, the three big things that happened. There's a bunch of IEM stuff that went down this weekend, but I think those are the three that we wanted to hit intensely. We already talked about Overwatch League. I'm still rooting for the Shanghai Dragons. I got a funny story about it actually. I went to UPS. We have like a Shacknews post office box kind of situation there. So I went there on Saturday to pick up my mail. And the guys that work there know about Shacknews. They know I'm in the game, games press or whatever. So the guy walks in. Right when I walk in, he's like, "Dude, they got a nerf Baptiste." So we started talking about Overwatch and Baptiste and how you can Baptiste with a tank is almost OP right now if you pair those two, because he can shoot through their shield and he can heal at the same time. But it was just funny because he was like, "Dude, did you see the Shanghai Dragons one?" I'm like, "Of course I did." And we were talking about how we're both Browns fans. I think Browns fans are like super interested in. I just saw an elephant with a horse on its trunk. I lost. Yeah, but I think Browns fans are kind of attracted to the Shanghai Dragons. That's all I was really saying.
Yeah.
This is a quality game.
I mean, as a Raiders fan, I can definitely relate to the Shanghai Dragons a lot.
Mm-hmm. Is the AAF still going on? I didn't even watch it this week.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was thinking about that yesterday when I was doing stuff. I'm like, I should probably see if this is if that still exists.
It's still there. It's still there. Yeah, I guess apparently. I wanted let's do a quick check in on our teams. You're a San Antonio Commanders fan, right?
Yes. As far
Oh
as
damn! They beat my team
everything.
12-11. 12-11? What the hell? What kind of
That's
score is
right.
that?
The best score ever.
That's the worst score. Look at that. Oh man, Anthem says. Did you see this? Anthem is bricking some PS4s.
I did hear about this today, and I haven't played Anthem yet. A friend of mine says they have a copy for him.
When I played it, it almost bricked my will to live.
Yeah,
It almost bricked your will to live.
If you go to Shacknews.com right now, you can actually read Ozzy's very, very intricate review of Anthem.
He also had the roundup of the scores around the internet from other outlets.
Yeah.
So if you want to see an article with a bunch of 4s and 5s together, that's something to click.
Yeah, the final score is out, and it's not good for Anthem. You know, we have a thread. We've had a thread in the chatty every day about the game called the Anthem Address, and there's still some people playing it apparently. But yeah, the games press is not about that game. It's been almost universally panned, which is disappointing for BioWare to really have 2 duds in a row now with Andromeda and now this.
Yeah. Anthem will never be the electronic sports title that EA was hoping for. But at least they got Apex Legends.
I don't think it was ever going to be an esports title. Like,
know.
you can't say that. It's just never going to be any kind of... I don't know. I don't want to say never. I actually don't want to say never, because you look at, like, Destiny 2, how it shipped versus Destiny 2 today. It's a better game today than it was. Now, the question is, does EA have the kind of patience that was required on Bungie's part? And I just don't know if that's true.
No, I think EA is a numbers company. They're it's already on sale. The game's already on sale. So I think right there, that tells you.
We spent 6 hours on Friday's stream with Anthem's biggest direct competitor, The Division 2. And based on the time we spent with that, it looks like they are not making the same mistakes as BioWare out of the gate.
Yep.
But they have a roadmap already that they were pretty much able to just steal from the first division.
Well, no, they learned a lot during the process. Yeah, the first division made the same mistakes that Anthem and Destiny did, but the thing is, they were already fixed years ago by the Diablo team. There's no reason for these people to try to reinvent the wheel each time when these problems have been solved and they keep just goofing it up endlessly.
I guess.
Yeah. So there's a thread in the chatty right now about just people saying, "Is this it for BioWare?" And I don't think it is. I think they got one last shot with Dragon Age, and if they screw that up, then they're done.
Let them do another real Knights of the Old Republic. Let them do a real Knights of the Old Republic. Jesus, tap dancing, mother.
Just give them enough time to make sure whatever they put out is quality rather than trying to meet a fiscal year date or whatever.
Yeah.
Just let them make a good game. Good games will sell. Like, it's rare when good games bomb.
When you do something as ambitious as a title like Mass Effect, though, you're kind of, and unfortunately, now there's this huge bar you've raised for yourself. So you might have, maybe you shoot yourself in the foot with a game like Anthem. Andromeda, I don't know. That should have been like shooting things. But I don't know. I don't know. BioWare's still good at what they do, but Anthem isn't really what they do. feel like
But
that game is like out of their
that's the
wheelhouse.
problem though, is you run into these situations with these larger third party developers where they swallow up smaller studios, and then those smaller studios end up losing their identities a lot of the time. And I think that's what you're talking about. Like Anthem might not be what BioWare is about, but it is right now. You know, and and there's probably some decisions. It doesn't seem like this isn't one of those situations where it's like Battlefront 2, where the microtransactions were so shoehorned into that game that it definitely felt like someone from accounting told them to do that. Anthem's problems are gameplay related, and all that end game, right, Chris? Like there's that. I think the first third of the game, talking to Ozzy, it was probably an 8 out of 10. And then it's that last 2/3 of the game where it falls off a cliff in the fun department, and it just forces you to grind, you know? So I agree with what Chris is saying. Like, if they had given it more time, and like, let's say that beta wasn't just a demo, it was a legit beta, and then they went back to the studio and went to work for another 6 months on the game and then released it, they might have fixed the problem that made everyone hate it.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, yeah, that's real because I played the Division 2 beta over the weekend, and I gotta say, it was a lot more balanced. They had tweaked stuff so it wasn't so not every enemy was such a huge bullet sponge anymore.
There were also
and
30 different things to do, which you can't say for Anthem. Like, ultimately,
Yeah.
you're just shooting people, but there were so many other random encounters in the open world, and Anthem is more like just using your jetpack to get from encounter A to encounter B, and watch, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Well,
jetpacks are cool, but like,
I'm a little afraid to play it now that it's breaking things.
Yeah, especially because I would not put Anthem on your PS4 if I were you.
Yeah.
not every game can be Japan World Cup.
Seriously, why
But
can't?
there
Whoa,
should be.
look at that. Why isn't this game on Switch?
It's a good question. That's probably the only time I've ever agreed with you asking. This is a system mover.
Yep, the end game, yeah.
Especially if they integrate betting into it, like at the system level, where I can just put points into it and gamble them.
The end game grind is ridiculous. How many world events and fortresses do I have to do? Oh, all right. Yeah, I hear you, Court the Jester. That's
there was also a post at the end of last week where the game designer who was brought in on Diablo, the last expansion, where it was the one that fixed Diablo 3, and he's like, I enjoyed playing your game the past week, but I noticed, you had some issues that we had run into. We were doing Diablo, and he made 7-8 paragraphs clearly outlining why certain decisions didn't work and the way they got around them and the way to fix them. There were like a couple of BioWare community managers like, oh, this seems like a really good device. I'll see if we can pass this up the chain. But it was, and it was stuff that people have been complaining about in the forum since the first alpha test. But, like I mentioned before, sometimes once the train is scheduled to pull in the station, there's no stopping a moving train, I guess, when it gets to a certain point. And EA's got a 20-year history. It's been delayed, but not too bad. But, I mean, EA's also got a 20-year history of completely bungling these acquisitions to the point where every one of these studios is left in a smoldering husk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly surprised DICE is still operating semi-okay. Although they kind of get a pass since they're the engine team behind every other project for EA basically now. So they kind of have a built-in can't be killed since they're, doing back-end engine support for every other EA game now, independent of their battle, whatever products.
Here we go. We reported on this on February 26th. I just linked it in the chat. Diablo Dev offers ideas on fixing Anthem. Solid advice. He wasn't coming from like a position of being a jerk or anything. He was just trying to help. And like you said, these are problems that other devs have run into. Yeah, we could talk about the Frostbite engine too, man.
I don't know. I mean, the game.
But-
Well, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. It ran fine for me as far as on the technical side. Issues I had with Anthem were just mostly game design related or stupid UI stuff, or
Yeah.
especially in the early alphas where it was clear that nobody in that office had ever run the game on a PC before they shipped that thing out. It was just like, because the first few they put out, the mouse, you couldn't look directly with the mouse. It just emulated the movement of a stick, which made aiming it was the worst. I quit after 5 minutes. They did fix that, though, before the final beta and then in the full game, but just stuff like that where it boggles. And Anthem's not the only game that's done this. There's lots of games where they've launched with stuff where you just feel like there's never an attention to detail for the strengths and considerations made for different platforms. It's disheartening, and there's always lots of whining from PC gamers about stuff like that. Every time it happens, and then there's some studios that put stuff out that never have these issues, So I feel like it's just an attention to detail thing, and sometimes there's not enough time allotted for a project, not enough budget, not enough. There's 1,000 different things to get to it. I never believe it's a case of developers being incompetent or lazy. It's always probably just time scheduling issues and priorities, and ultimately console stuff's still probably selling a lot more than the PC in this case, and that leads to that's going to get the priority. They're working to make cert, which they've got to do months ahead of time usually, so It's a combination of a lot of different factors, but still sucks to see.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think those are like really the main headlines for this week. I know Blake has to kind of run early this week, and
yeah, I'm off to check out a game. I can't say what game. I will say it will be at Evo.
Is it Half-Life
later
3?
this year. It is Half-Life 3.
Half-Life 3 is going to be at Evo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Wait,
It's a
so
fighting
is it
game.
like it's a CCG? Half-Life 3 is a CCG.
Ah, they just reskinned
Artifact.
Oh, that would be the meanest thing ever. Don't do that to me, Valve.
I wouldn't be surprised.
At least give me Left 4 Dead 3 before you do that to me. Oh, that's mean. Yeah, I gotta take off here in about 10 minutes. But yeah, I'll just say my goodbyes now because it'll probably take about 10 minutes. You guys are gonna stick around and play what, Rocket League, or what are you playing today?
I don't know, Chris. Are you gonna play a game?
I'm open for whatever. This is the wild world of sports or electronic sports. There are no limits. There are no ceilings.
Yeah, I don't know. I could probably stick around and play something. I don't know what multiplayer game you had in mind.
I mean, if you guys can handle it. I mean, I know it's tough to go on without me. Just emotionally.
Yeah. And hey, check out our Dead or Alive review. It's up there.
Mhm.
Oh my god. I think yeah.
How is that not going to be at Evo? Because that's a popular game, right?
Yeah, it's because it's probably they were at Evo Japan and they got in trouble. That could have something to do with it.
On account of their stage ladies?
They like those naughty boobies.
Also, the game developer pausing the character models in compromising situations.
And there's nothing that I associate with Evo quite like digital upskirts. That's what they're known for, right?
Yeah.
Evo is pretty much just one long reverse roller coaster.
But yeah, I thought DOA 6 honestly would have been a better game to be in that lineup than Soul Calibur 6. That was really what I was kind of getting at in our earlier discussion. I think, but after reading the review and seeing some other people's opinions, maybe, I don't know, there might have been room for something else.
DOA 6 is pretty nuanced, I gotta say. You really gotta be good at all the counters and throws in order to really play that game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the easiest timing or the cleanest timing. Seriously, just after playing it for some time, especially if you're gonna do a throw combo, it is near freaking impossible for me to pull that stuff off. And you really got to be able to do things like that in DOA 6. I think the weirdest thing is definitely that like all the costumes and DLC and stuff is $93 for the season 1 pass, which is about $33 more than the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what to do there.
Court the Jester says once you get used to the hold system, it gets easier.
That's true. It does get easier once you get used to the hold system, but I'll give them this. The quest mode in DOA 6 does a really good job of teaching you all the nuanced moves that you'll need to know. It's also the quickest way to unlock costumes, but I've played through maybe 40 of the quest modes, and I still only have not even a handful of costumes unlocked. I think that was like probably the biggest letdown for me personally for DOA 6 was.
Did you hear the story that the DLC doesn't even include everything? It's only like $93 and it doesn't include everything.
Well, sounds like they learned a lot of good lessons from Capcom there.
There's a caveat that they might release content that would not be included in the DLC. That doesn't mean they necessarily have plans to. I think it's just one of those things where legal is putting that stamp there.
And no, it's because they're calling it Season Pass 1. But like the idea that it's $93?
Yeah, they need to tone that down.
That's out of control. That's more than the game.
Yeah, that means you'd be paying you're paying like about
$160, $170 like for all the content. That's insane to me. That's a bridge too far in my opinion.
Does that $93 include an option to upgrade the graphics beyond upscaled PS3? Because this one looks kind of rough. I was waiting for this with excitement because there hasn't been a mainline DOA game on the PC ever, I think, as far as day and date release, and I was super pumped. But the more I see, like, this doesn't look so hot, at least from a technical standpoint. I was worried.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they're getting a little greedy here.
Like, are they worried too much about the boobs and not about the other details?
I think it's kind of it. I think that they're kind of banking on the whole idea that sex sells, especially for their game. So
all these anime body pillows backs up their assumption, or at least the ones I bought.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that a bunch of otaku are gonna throw a bunch of money at customizing all their favorite female characters, maybe a few of the male characters. But that's what this game is like, kind of all about, with a nod in the week anyway. Not even such, it's blatant in a lot of cases. That it's just all about hyperaction and hypersexuality, which was way more mainstream and way more popular when the Dead or Alive series first came to popularity. Anyway, it's sort of a remnant of a bygone era in gaming and fighting history. But even with that said, though, like there's a solid combat system here. There's a solid game behind it.
Mm.
That makes any sense at all. Yes, it can be this bouncing booby game where you have a spin-off where all you do is dress all the female characters in provocative bikinis while playing volleyball and like throwing water on them or something. But it's also going to be this thing where you have a real fighting game that could be on EVO's main stage. Maybe if it wasn't, maybe if it hadn't been born in that like early 2000 era of gaming, though, where it was all about Mountain Dew and Limp Bizkit. Not to say that you can't be about Mountain Dew and Limp Bizkit today, but really,
you can pry BMX XXX out of my cold dead hands.
Well, we'll just bury you with it, Chris. I don't think anyone's gonna be too bummed about losing a copy of BMX Triple X.
This is kind of esports adjacent. But did you see this Apex Legends news today that they just surpassed 50 million players?
I did. That's pretty impressive. I'm still curious to see how long it's gonna last, and I'm wondering how this is. I'm wondering if Epic is worried at all about the rising popularity of Apex.
I think Epic Games is definitely worried about it. The other thing is, yeah, you have 50 million players, but are you making any money? You know what I mean? It's
That's
free.
another good question.
The game's free. Like, have you guys given any money to Apex? I haven't.
I mean, Fortnite's free.
Fortnite is free, but you know what the difference is, Chris? Fortnite is third person, so you can see your character when you're playing, which means cosmetics are way more important, right? If you can't see your player, who cares about cosmetics? But if all you do is look at your back bling, of course you're gonna care. So I just think that's a major difference in that. That's what made Fortnite a financial juggernaut, was their microtransactions and their the item shop.
Well, I got a question for you here.
There's cosmetics for guns. Okay. But cosmetics for guns, like I could care less. I couldn't care less.
So the wild success of Fortnite in this, do you think that going forward, is it possible for any Battle Royale style game in the future to be able to reach success without being free to play?
That's a great question.
That's a good question. I mean, I think the reason that a lot of these free to play or a lot of these battle royales are free to play is you get one map, that's it, and maybe just some cosmetic stuff. So I don't know. I mean, PlayerUnknown PUBG costs money, right?
It does.
It did, yeah.
I mean, so there's already been a solid case that you can charge for a battle royale in these people, but
that was before these two games.
That was before Fortnite and Apex. Yeah, I mean, really tough to say. I think you gotta.
I'm gonna say
about what's in the package. Frankly,
yeah, I'm gonna say yes. You have to be free to play to compete, because why on earth would I pay for a battle royale when I can play it for free? That's really what it's gonna boil down to. Like, unless you're giving me, look at like Battlefield, right? Battlefield 5. It's gonna have a battle royale mode, but it also ships with multiplayer and a single player, right? If you're doing that, no, you can still charge. But if all you're giving me is a battle royale game, it better be free. Because unless you're doing something drastically different than Apex or Fortnite, you're not gonna. How are you gonna draw people over to it? I think that's what made Apex so popular, was that it was free. If it cost $60, would you guys buy it?
No. I mean, honestly, the only time I play battle royale games is because one, I need to for work, or two, like my friends are just like bugging the hell out of me to go play it with them. Peer pressure is never a good reason. Unless if it's something you're really going to enjoy, you'll buy it anyway.
I feel like if one comes out that kind of hits the notes I want in the experience, and I think there's going to be a base, I'm willing to pay whatever price. I mean, I wouldn't have paid for Apex, but that's not the style of game I was looking for. But I mean, I tried it. It was free also. We had to do it for the stream here, but being free is the thing that got me to look at it closely. So that part of it worked, but otherwise, I never would have given it the chance. But that's more, not because it's a BR, but just because I'm not into the whole hero system or the low player count or the way the map is and all that. But that, that's just personal preference.
Yeah, what's weird about all this is that I know it's broken and terrible now, but I liked PUBG.
Well, I hope you didn't like it too much, because they got a thing they pushed out today where they are changing the original map to load it down with more buildings and stuff, because people are upset when they get to the ground that there's not enough loot and they need to be more deathmatchy. So they've added
That's
like
such a bummer.
150 buildings to the original map to make it where you
That's
don't have to
why-
go more than 50 feet without having somebody in a
That's
compound.
why I said it. That's why I said in past tense, Chris. Like, I liked it. I don't like it today, but man,
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked that game when it came out. It was a good game. It made my game of the year list that year. And it's just fallen so hard.
But the success of the free-to-play games is even changing, the others. So
Exactly.
PUBG is chasing the style, and I mean, obviously the player count, determines everything. And in PUBG, the most people only play the jungle map. That's more deathmatchy. It's kind of what people want.
Well, guys, with that said, I got to go pour one out for Luke Perry
Rip.
and PUBG and the lead singer of Prodigy. So I got to get going here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Don't give up on these two wild kids though. Chris and Asif are going to stick around.
Yeah, sure.
And have fun times with you. And I'll see y'all probably later this week or something.
Alrighty. It's been an honor having you here, and this one's for you.
Thanks,
Can't
Blake.
see it, but I just did a little dance.
Maybe we can get old Greg to drop in and replace you. I see he's here in our chat now.
Oh, that's a horrible replacement.
That's
That's really
a
really
dangerous
downgrading.
game.
I've heard he got A's on his papers, so.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god, you guys have fun with that. Oh,
Don't ever send me your papers. Just please.
User disconnected from your channel.
Greg, I'm gonna send back those papers to Greg with just a big red F on each page. Oh man, that's an inside joke. If you follow me on Twitter, you understand. Good host despite a few errors. So Chris, what should we play?
You tell me, or should I post up the Steam library here and let the chat select like roulette?
It has to be multiplayer.
That is true. I guess that was a terrible idea. We did that the other day, and we ended up with Wolfenstein and had a pretty good time. That's not multiplayer, but,
Yeah.
it could have gone worse. Let's see. Do you have Insurgency Sandstorm?
I do.
Have you played that before?
Nope. But I could.
Oh, that's probably not the best idea then.
It's
what
a
about
shooter. I could play it.
Astroneer?
I have Astroneer.
Have you played that before?
Yes. I haven't played this build of it yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's something I may have already got a profile up for. It would be easy to.
Okay.
But let me see what else we got here. Like last week, we've got Rocket League. We've got Golf with Your Friends.
I figure we don't want to burn people out on Rocket League.
Mm-hmm. Dying Light. Got Hunt Showdown. Street Fighter, the 30th Anniversary Collection. The Capcom
Nobody
Beat 'em
wants
Up
to see
Bundle.
Do you have Super Mega Baseball too?
It's not currently installed, but I do have it. I'll make sure I get that for next week.
That's a good one. You have Wreckfest, or is that deleted?
Not currently installed. I got Dragon Ball Fighters.
I don't have that on PC. What was that? What did you?
You have the Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle.
I don't. I
We
think
could
I
play
have that on
some
Switch.
Super Seducer, and you could guide me through meeting women.
That sounds...
I don't know if you were here for the other streams we did of that last year.
It was pretty great.
It was a little while. Maybe not appropriate for Esports Day, though.
What about the football game, the NES one that Asif loves? What?
Oh, I wish if Tecmo Bowl was on Steam.
If you had a Switch, you could...
There is online Tecmo Bowl on the Switch.
Yeah.
What is it? What?
You didn't know that?
Hold on a moment.
It's like the
My world
greatest thing
is-
to ever happen. It's by far the best online football game.
I can't believe it.
That's a real thing. I can confirm.
Opening up a YouTube video here to see if this is true. It says Nintendo
It's
Switch
true.
online. Oh, it looks like it's real.
It's real. Why
Oh
would you believe
no,
me?
I have to find the Switch now.
You have to find your Switch. Yeah. you
Well,
see
at
this
least I
guy?
make sure the power's plugged in and I have to find my Pro controller. Oh no, do they also have Super Tecmo Bowl on here, or is it just
No, it's just Tecmo Bowl.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
It even has the flashes like it's trying to emulate the Nintendo hardware.
It really is.
Why would
dude.
they still have that if they rewrote it for multiplayer? That's weird.
They spared no expense in making it just as mediocre as the original.
Well, that's not really the fault of the developer. That's a hardware issue. I don't know if you still watch the Digital Foundry guys. They had a bit on why Nintendo games look the way they did, and there's a hardware limit to the number of moving sprites they can show on a screen, just the chip in the machine. And so the way developers got around it is when you see these flashes of players moving, when the split second of the frame, when that cuts out, it uses it to draw another moving sprite somewhere on the screen. So the flashes move all over to accommodate the hard limit they have of sprites while still having more people than the limit move.
Interesting.
And that's why you see that in so many games. It was a trick somebody figured out. So that's a little bit of Nintendo history, I guess.
We both have Insurgency installed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could just jump in there. It's not like...
Yeah, it'll take me a bit to configure up, but we can totally do that.
Let's do that.
All right.
I feel like that's a game I should give a shot.
All right, folks. Well, I'm going to throw up our Luke Perry picture to give me a little cover here in the background until we get this up and running.
But yeah, you should dig up your Switch and get Switch Online for some time in the future.
We need to... Do we have contacts at Tecmo PR? Are they still? Is that a real company?
Koei Tecmo is a company.
Koei Tecmo. I need to ask them, when is this coming to the other consoles and the PC? Because I'll tell them I'll give them $500 to make Super Tecmo Bowl run on Steam with multiplayer.
Here's the weird thing. Super Tecmo Bowl has never seen a port or a virtual console or anything. But Tecmo Bowl has been ported and all that stuff. Not to PC.
Okay, one more stupid question. Is the NFLPA license still in this ported version, or are they all generics? Like, is Bo Jackson on the Raiders?
Yes. But I think Tecmo Bowl just had numbers, right?
I have to remember. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Because my brother picked. I've been playing this with my family down in Texas. My brother picked the Raiders, and he was Bo.
Mm-hmm.
They were so stacked that year. And yeah, I just play as the Browns because they were actually pretty good back then. I don't know if you remember. They had Bernie Kosar and whatnot.
All right, so let me see if I can get this thing set up here.
Work if you're like a filthy console plebe that uses controllers, right?
Yeah, it has controller support, and it will auto aim for you. A little bit.
A little.
Just a little bit.
Performing's first time setup. Goody. What could go wrong? I'm glad I could teach you about Nintendo Switch Online and how it's actually good.
I can't believe you didn't have this news tattooed on you so that I would have known sooner.
It's just too bad someone doesn't listen to the podcast.
It's too bad that I've never been invited to the podcast. I have listened. I have? Well, let me know when the next recording session is, and I don't know if you guys will allow remoting. It would be an honor.
Yeah, we do remote. We've had Blake on remotely, and we had Josh on. You were on a Shackcast, you just didn't know it. I don't think it was the Game of the Year Battle Royale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you've been on a Shackcast, you just didn't know. This game already gets a minus from me because it says my name is the man with the brie.
Well, maybe get a real name.
Whatever. 2,339 players online.
Yeah, player base is held very steady since beginning of December. Mm-hmm. Just had an update this week. Let me see if this video output here works for the folks on stream.
Invert y-axis. Excellent. So this game is not a battle royale, right?
It's not a battle royale. It has several game modes, though. The main ones would be, the competitive ranked play, where you take teams of up to 12 or 16 and you put them against each other in these cities, and you have different control points you want to take over. There's also a cooperative mode where it pits a team of up to 8 users together against coordinated groups of AI squads, where you'll start at one end of a city and you'll have an A point, and if you work to take it over and defend it successfully, you move to the B point all the way through to either F, G, H, I, depends on the size of the city. And it's got, a nice mix of urban combat and, hot gameplay. The shooting is going to be a little different than it used to. It's got kind of a mix, more on the Arma side type shooting, but not quite as semi, between maybe Battlefield and Arma. There's no on-screen reticle, like when you blind fire, whatever way your guy happens to be swinging the gun is where it's going to go, which is sometimes frustrating and other times amazing when you end up saving your life on a wild shot when you get into a jam. But I like this one because there's a lot of tension in it. It's got great sound, in my opinion, great gunplay, gameplay, and they don't ask for DLC after I bought it. You just unlock the stuff you get from playing and having a good time.
So how would I join you?
So I'm going to invite you to the party.
Okay.
Hopefully that invite pops up.
Yeah, it shows up in Steam.
May have to adjust my volume here so that the good folks out in Streamland can hear it.
Yep, I think I'm in your party.
Alright, so we're just going to do the cooperative mode.
Okay.
So we'll be security or insurgents. Those are the two main teams. One's kind of like, Western mercenaries, and the other side can be insurgents. Main differences are the equipment they use. It's mostly similar to each other. And again, if you're the insurgents, you're fighting against mercenaries. If you're the mercenaries, you're fighting against insurgents. So I'll matchmake us into a game, and it'll find us 6 other top boys, and we'll work together to go towards the A cap.
So it's going to be us versus AI.
Right. All the enemies we encounter will be AI. Your teammates will have 3D UI markers, in your free space or whatever. The other thing, when we start up, you'll have a class to pick and a loadout. The loadout that you can choose is determine the class you pick. To start off, I would just choose Rifleman because it's pretty basic. And you pick your class, and then you have a budget of item numbers you can have. So like a gun, you may have 20 total. A gun takes up 4, a sight takes up 1, but you can go anything up to the filling up your budget. So in the case on my screen here, I spent up all my points to use it to get to 0 here, just above the deploy button. I picked myself a G3 762 gun, a bunch of attachments, some grenades, gas mask, stuff like that. But whatever you think sounds cool, try it out. All the guns in the game are pretty cool. Just believe in yourself. Also, you're going to be getting murdered.
Gonna get murdered?
It looks like it joined us a match. Our teammates are already at a point. If they successfully hold this point, it will spawn us in. You come in waves. So like if you die, but your team takes the A point, you'll be around to go for the B point. And I apologize for this in the background.
Okay, heavy armor. And then, where's my gun? There it is. Yeah, another explosive I can pick up, I guess. Okay, I guess I'm ready to go. So we're just spectating right now?
Yeah, since we join in mid-round, we'll have to wait for a wave to clear.
Well, this looks really good. Delicious ultra-wide support. Thank you for the follow, Zaku. Or Zaku?
Sorry, I had to step away and put those dogs in the microwave.
I'm amazed how they keep coming back every week.
Yeah, they're resilient. They're douchebags, though.
Yeah, it happens.
So our teammates here, they're guarding this house that is marked as a G point, and they're computer-controlled insurgents coming in. If there's some that are standing close enough to cap, it'll have blocking there at the top of the screen. So that means our boys are holding it, but they have AI guys close enough to prevent the successful cap. And at the bottom of the screen, you have a timer. Once it gets to 0, if there's a successful cap, you win the wave.
Uh-oh.
Corman just ate it. So right now, the timer is run up, but our boys are being swamped. This Dualita guy, he is wrecking.
Yeah, he is. Victory!
Yay.
See, I won. MLG.
I believe the V key, as in Volvo, is how you speak with people in the game. If you're into that.
Yeah.
It automatically puts a radio comm filter on your voice, which is great. So it sounds tactical as all hell.
That's cool.
So it assigns the points, and then unless everybody quits, it'll dump us into the next round.
Okay.
I don't know if you earned any XP, but I did.
I did not.
Well, that's kind of weird. I've actually never match made into a game where it put me in one at the end before. But maybe that's new with this patch.
Do I click next match, or...?
It should be on whoever is the host. Which I'm not sure who that is, because I'm not good at this.
Might be me, because I have the option to click next match. Oh, never mind.
Well, I did as well, so I'm not sure. I did it like an idiot. It is definitely matchmaking for another round.
It says finding next game, or finding game.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yep, something happened. Checkpoint security summit. Capture and destroy all enemy objectives.
Looks like it's put us into another already running match. Oh, no, this one's at the beginning.
Okay.
Well, kind of. They've already taken a point. I'll wait till you spawn in here and we'll roll in together. That way we don't have to sleep with our heads in the mud.
Your team will respawn if an objective is captured?
What? That's weird. Well, let's capture B real quick. I'm in. At least on mine.
Yeah, I'm spectating. Yeah, I see you. Yep, I'm in.
That B.
And it did not.
Alright, I see you. I'll run back to where you're at.
Did not remember my inverted y-axis. Oh, that was on the mouse. That's why. Dope.
Ooh, you're a pretty girl.
Yeah, I am.
You'll be impressed with this.
The door tech. Why?
If there's a terrorist on the other side of that door, they'd be hurt.
That's a good point.
Just hope you know. Also, everybody in this game has potty mouth.
This game shipped with vaulting.
Mm-hmm.
Beat
And it
that,
works.
PUBG.
There's also ballistics and bullet penetration, so if there's a guy behind a thin fence, just light the fence up.
Okay.
Alright, we'll make it towards C point, but there could be bad guys anywhere, so look alive.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure it works in the controller, but keyboard you have leaning functionality as well. It's good for peeking. Looks like our boys are already capping the point, so we'll join on them. Charlie point.
Mm-hmm. We got it.
We did it.
you see somebody?
Yeah, I shot a guy.
Oh,
Cover me! Cover me!
Hold on!
I don't know how you access the talking wheel on the controller, but you can just constantly talk garbage through the in-game voices.
Do you really want to die out here? Roger! Reaching! Get down on the ground!
This is probably gonna be a... Oh, and I'm dead. And that's why you don't... That's right in front of me.
okay.
I decided to start talking and get murdered.
Hey, I'm loading!
I'm gonna spectate you for the purposes of our stream here.
I don't see who shot you.
They're dead already.
Oh, they are. They were in Delta.
You guys locked it down. That's awesome.
Down on the ground now!
This target! Station! What? This is Observer?
There you are.
Explosive
So you can
rounds.
respawn?
Yeah, because you clear the D point, the new wave initiates. It also spawns a new wave of the AIs.
Okay.
Hold on! Get some smoke out there! We should use smoke! Get some smoke out there! We need smoke! Get
Really
some
like the
smoke out
graphics.
there!
Solid.
Yeah, Unreal Engine 4.
We need smoke!
There's also the ability to call in mortars, airstrikes, and stuff. You might want to back up. That thing's on fire. Heads up. You're about to go CLI. Be careful. Be careful.
I'm good.
I have doubts. Wow, you didn't die. I can't believe it didn't explode.
So do I hit the trigger?
Somebody already did, it looks like. Some people throw incendiary grenades on it, it'll blow up. That's what I thought was going to happen there, but you were able to plant, and we completed that objective.
Yeah. I did the thing.
You're the best.
Yeah. So if I fall from like a one story, this
You should be okay.
okay.
Okay, hold on, I need to load!
Are you at F or where are you?
I'm working my way there.
Okay.
Just trying not to get murdered on stream. I've got a rep to uphold.
Oh, I see a guy. Oh no!
I forgot to reload.
Stand now, wait!
I've been murdered.
Hang on. Come!
God, slack. Avenge me.
Hey! Hey!
So if you guys get F, I can respawn?
Yes.
Reloading.
Looks like you guys are capturing it right now. Is this the last objective? How many?
Alright, it depends on the city.
Okay.
I don't know on this one specifically.
I'm reloading!
Get out of the open, damn it!
Thought I heard it. Enemy technical, I'm not sure.
What kind of site is that?
I'm using the PKS 1.5X. They fit us with smoke mortars, the enemy has here. So now we're gonna be able to pop them as they come in.
Fuck! We have enemy at Foxtrot!
Telemarketer from Louisiana calling. Oh god!
Oh no. Oh, there was smoke.
I should have said something. I don't know. They're blocking us. This doesn't look good.
You'd have faith in your team.
no.
Oh,
No.
that guy is no longer with us.
Dang it.
Yeah, I forgot to mention there are occasionally suicide vest bombers that will run in and tap their cell phone.
Yeah. Oh, no.
We didn't win, but we got another shot at this. Usually you have to fail 3 times to lose a round. You did get the most objective captures, and you destroyed an objective.
Huh. I did a thing.
Yeah, you're an effective teammate, unlike me.
I'm not necessarily good, but when it comes to objective games, I'm okay.
We should use smoke.
I tend to be more of a deathmatch dude.
Hunter, drop your weapon. Do this.
Come on then! Right, damn it! Let's do it!
Get down on the
Which is
ground.
becoming
I
increasingly
need affirmative.
not a thing anymore. That's what I like about this game versus a battle royale. Like, at least I start with a freaking gun. You know?
Mm-hmm. And all of the guns are unlocked from the moment you start the game.
Yeah. Did that dude die?
Not sure. Watch out, that's a warthog. You got at least 3 or 4 boys coming to the A-hole.
We captured it.
Now we gotta hold it.
Oh, okay.
Some of them you have to defend.
Yep, seeing some explosions.
Also, if you run and then crouch, you'll technically slide on your knees like a cool boy.
Yeah, I noticed that.
If you kill someone blind firing while doing that, everyone respects you.
We got some smoke here.
Yeah, this is not good.
I'm just kind of staying in the corner, waiting for them to come in a door.
Give me a second, Yahi.
Seems like an okay
Oh
strat.
yeah, if you fire 3 or 4 bullets and then you reload, that magazine goes back into your rotation with the empty bullets in it. So it doesn't autofill mags.
Give me a gunfire.
I'm helping.
You just saved my life. And then you murder me.
I killed you?
Yeah.
New mag.
Oh, my bad, dude.
Well, at least you're consistent in killing.
Did not. My bad, my bad.
That's alright, you saved my life before you did it, so you earned some points.
I was trying to help. It's hard.
And it's tough to see, you know, it's... Alright, you guys captured, we get to go to B now, I'm back.
All right, come on,
Nice.
guys, all okay? Get some
So I
smoke
kinda
out
helped.
there.
Yeah. In your own way.
In my own way. Oh, man, team kill. That always feels bad.
It's okay, it's usually hilarious in this game. So yeah, you can tap F to pick up new maps. Maybe if you hold F on this box that appears after every cap, it replenishes your health if you lost any.
Oh, okay.
It takes longer though.
The Y button.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good. Okay. I'm ready to go.
B is already hotly contested here.
Okay. I'm right next to you.
Reloading.
Did you see that? No?
I did not.
I took a guy down with a melee attack. And,
Nice.
That was scary.
Loading. Smoke.
Oh, there's a guy in the window up above you, behind you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I hit him, but I'm gonna believe that we did. Yeah, the B cap is upstairs, so I'm gonna run up first.
Okay, I'm behind you.
Oh, we got a guy throwing a grenade.
Okay, never mind. Nice.
He was running from that grenade.
I'm reloading.
Yeah, so the
So
AI
great.
in this game sometimes is pretty cool.
They have a lot of things.
Yeah, this. Oh yeah, we better blow this up.
Gonna blow it.
I'm gonna run away in case it gets blowed early.
Explosive.
Oh god. I probably shouldn't have stayed there for that.
Yeah, say hi to whoever runs the gates of heaven for me.
I'm back already.
Yeah.
That was the capture.
Yeah, so if that's
Okay.
another strategy. If you're the last person on the team and you have to make one of those destruction caps, if you sacrifice yourself to blow it, you still get to respawn on the next wave, which
Dude,
is
I'm
cool.
feeling this. The gunplay in this is
Yeah.
feels really good. I've been looking for a shooter, man.
This was my sleeper hit of 2018.
Yeah. I'm feeling it. I bought it on your review, and then... God, I'm so stupid. There's a guy coming at you.
Guess what? He got me before he got you.
Oh, really?
I ran in front of two guys and I was like, those are like enemies. And I turned around and I was murdered.
Yeah, I just looked at stream. I was about to hit him from behind, but I looked left, and then I looked right, and there were two guys there. I was dead.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
One of our
This to me is
teammates has not
different
left the
enough.
spawn.
Like, I like that it's competitive co-op against AI.
It's like a weird mix of Arma and CSGO and maybe a little bit of Call of Duty. But like in a way that's not really just like the others.
Mm-hmm.
And the co-op is great. Sometimes the AI will really surprise you, which was the thing I did not expect going into this. I thought they would just be, you know, your standard
Yeah, they're not
dipshit
dumb.
bots. Like, and they don't
Yeah, they're-
always hit you the first time they see you either. Like they can be
We're
spooked.
taking Charlie now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Our
not-
teammate is Rambo.
Yeah, Rooster.
Yeah.
This guy is ridiculous. Loving watching him play though. He's really talented.
Oh yeah, when you're playing with a group of 8 people and you get to watch, you know, the viewing in this for teammates is excellent and lag free. And backseat driving people when they're really nervous, like if their last one is great, just really making your friends feel bad about themselves or more nervous.
Oh, here he comes. Nice. Baited him.
Okay, I'm on Charlie.
This
Go,
is
Rooster. Go, Rooster, go.
the footsteps are killing me.
No.
Oh,
Valiant effort, Rooster. Man.
again, you made it on the leaderboard with most defensive kills.
Most defensive kills?
That's what it says on my screen.
Okay, yeah, that's a thing. And most objective captures.
Yeah.
I'm awesome. It looks like I'm about to level up. Maybe.
Yep, and each time you level up, they award you some insurgency credits, and you use to spend those in the cosmetics store. And instead of having to gamble for cosmetics, you just pick the one you want. So the first one I bought was the Fred Durst backwards red cap.
This is just PC.
This is just PC. There are plans at some point to bring this to consoles, but PC first to begin with. Or at least that was the OG plan. The other insurgency games aren't bad too. There's one called Day of Infamy, which is their World War II skin version. It's also pretty cool if you're into that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a scarier version of Day of Defeat, but it still has a lot of the stupidity. It makes it fun. Your character depends on how your skin and your face looks, and then there's facial hair and all that stuff you can kind of customize. And the customizations are independent of whether you're on the security force or the insurgents. So my insurgents, I'd saved up all my levels up until I could afford a full Adidas suit, which is, you know, that's gonna be me. And I bought a ski mask because it looks cool. And I spent the rest of my money on mutton chops. As you should do, you know.
Sorry, I had to do some EIC duties.
Oh, no problem.
Worried about offending Soldier Boy fans? No. No, I'm not. Call him a poser. You gonna rap about Zelda and not know what rupees are? Please.
Alright, I'm going to deploy as a demolitions man because I feel like I need a rocket.
Okay, so that's what... So it's kind of like... I don't want to say it's like Team Fortress, but, you know, the classes
There's,
determine...
yeah. They don't move any differently, but it just depends on the loadout you can carry.
Yeah. In TF2, that was my main was rockets.
Mm. Yeah, you really only get one rocket you can carry in this, but the rockets in this game are insanely deadly. You fire one into a room and everybody's going to be dead pretty much. And, oh, I thought that was a real round. That was pre-round because our teammate was shooting me in the back. I was about to get mad.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was.
Get some smoke out there! Do you really want to die out here? Keep focus! No can do! Let's go! Let's get over there! No! No! No can do! Sure! Roger! Throwing grenade! Loading! Loading!
Also, in like a lot of these games, the caliber of your bullet is important. Wow, that guy just ate it.
Boy. Yeah, I just saw our boy get his head blown off. That was sad.
There's a sniper across the field over there somewhere. I'm gonna run and get my head down.
Hold on, I need to load.
You getting shot at?
Not currently, but I'm not taking any chances.
Okay, I'm running. I think they're in A. Up at the top. Yeah.
There's some on the left on the dirt too on the approach.
Yep.
Wait, hang on!
I don't know what the button is that changes fire mode, but some guns have different ones, you know.
Loading! Reloading!
You got that hot reflex sight with, was it an M16 or?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, trouble just came through the door. Ooh. That call almost went through.
We're supposed to stay in here for now.
Yeah, at the bottom of the screen you have a countdown timer. If you still have it captured when that timer exits, you win the cap.
Okay.
So 25 seconds roughly. They popped a smoke at that door. Somebody kicked down the other door. Five seconds.
Loading! Loading! Oh, what? That's it? We're still here, you fuckers! Get moving!
You brought me back to life.
Okay, so we captured.
That is correct.
On to the next one then.
Just like the Jay-Z song. Oh, my literally head is gone. I just heard the noise of the grapefruit exploding.
Check your ammo! Roger!
Oh god, I just saw someone die. I don't know where that came from. Oh, they're on the ridge.
Okay, hold on, I need to load!
Seems like they're dead.
Yeah, the three that were there are more between us and C, though.
saw who you were shooting at. I was like, what's he doing? Oh. Never mind. Sure.
Get down! RPG, look out!
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, this is gonna end poorly.
Did that hit you?
Yeah. I'm
Yikes.
dead.
I'm sorry. I just missed me.
It went right over
I
your
got
shoulder.
the guy that did it there.
You see, like, bits of my body splattering over.
It's got a little bit of that Soldier of Fortune to it.
Oh, man. We'll capture this and I'll come back.
Securing Charlie. Down on the ground now!
I'm not afraid of you!
Give up!
Come over here then!
Do you really want to die out here?
Dying time, huh? Then here!
Hey! Hey! Drop your weapon! You should run!
Okay!
Oh, I'm an idiot. It's down to one guy.
Does it?
He's pulling a Tom Hanks.
They're coming! Fuck! Shit!
Captain Nixton. There you go. Oh god, he's got another one coming out through the door.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good. This might be the end of Cap.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. Dead. Hey, cutie pies. I'm gonna blame that death on Slack.
I'm gonna switch my gun up here. I need something that's automatic fire, I think.
So it's 8 people, right?
Up to 8, yeah, on co-ops.
And you
Let's try
can,
this AK-74 here.
so you can have a 8-person party.
Yep. You can take that into competitive or whatever you want to do.
Okay. Alright, I'm good. Do you really want to die out here?
I'm always gonna err on the high ground. There's a guy up here, though. You still alive?
Just miraculously.
I saw you getting into some fighting over there.
Yeah.
Looks like they're already capping A.
Hold on.
So there's no revive mechanic in this.
No.
What the? I already. Okay, I'm already back. But that was BS.
Check in. No problem, Yahi.
Does it tell you when you kill someone?
No. You just kind of have to know.
That's weird.
You mean like a teammate?
No, I mean like if you kill an opponent, like the opponent.
No,
doesn't
it
tell
does
you.
not tell you. You do not get hit indicators. It does not give you a participation trophy.
I get that, but
You just gonna have to look for the spray of the grapefruit and the guy dropping to his knees.
yeah, it seems like they die pretty quickly in this game.
Yeah, bullets hurt.
Yeah, this is like you said earlier.
But if they're
it's
wearing
kinda-
armor, you know, if you shoot them in the armor, sometimes it won't put them down. It just depends on who they are, what class they are.
it's definitely like an Arma game in that sense. Like you're pretty squishy. They're on that ridge. Have you tried the sniper class in this?
Yeah, but most of my engagements are close enough. I don't really mess with it. I think it's a lot more effective in PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you don't get rocketed this time.
Yeah. I'll let you go ahead of me.
Yeah, I'll absorb the rocket.
That's what happened last time, though. It's like, I'll let Chris go. Dead. They're not there? They're not there?
It's not the same every time.
I like that.
Ugh, I'm the worst. I shot like a cartoon silhouette around that guy.
See a guy around this bus.
Where's it going? Shit! Okay, reloading.
242 asks, what game is this? This is Insurgency Sandstorm. On Steam.
King in the house. Oh
That's,
God, did you
that
see
guy
that?
was just testing you, man.
Did you see that?
I did.
I'm on stream, aren't I? Oh no.
Oh yeah, I was
terrible.
definitely spectating that.
This is terrible. I was
Oh,
like,
the guy just paid for it finally. I can't believe an AI just clowned you like that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. It's hilarious to me.
I forgot you can shoot through walls in this.
"30 seconds here.
Loading! Hey! Hey! I'm loading!
Oh, I'm back.
P.S. Brar, thanks for the follow. Always appreciated. And Squires is starting to drizzle us with Twitch nuggets.
Oh, the Drizzle King. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the nugs. Taking top boy status away from Slayer Bill.
Slayer Bill is Drizzle King. Squires is the Drizzle Czar.
The Drizzle Czar. Sorry.
Okay.
Yay, we're back.
Hooray.
Everyone have
How did you die?
I was shot
I could be
Yeah,
better.
same.
by a guy I missed 6 times before he killed me.
I'm on
Yeah, I gotta say, this game's really fun, dude.
The shotguns were really awesome, although they received a nerf here in this week's patch, but still pretty cool.
I like a good shotgun, but for me, I'm always like, I need an assault rifle and a pistol. Those are usually my go-to in a shooter.
Jig! Get down on the ground!
Told it's coming right
Unloading
for us.
up, brother. Hang on!
I just like to kick doors down.
I know.
I get off on it.
I like to run behind you as you do it.
Alright, let's show this house who's boss.
Looks like B is has some action at it. We're in a restricted area.
Oh no, don't run behind me.
I went upstairs.
Alright. Try to overwatch for our boys here.
It looks like we got
Oh Jesus. I just got Eiffel Tower.
no. We're pretty terrible.
Yeah, we're not really doing it for Shacknews here. Our teammates are though.
Yeah, as long as we can ride these teammates, it's a victory. It'll be
Wow,
okay.
you just vaulted out of a 20-foot drop.
Yep, that's how I do it. There's some guys over there on the ridge. Dude on the street, you just killed. The other dude on the street, you just killed.
Wow, it is hot.
We got a lot of shit happening here. And now there's a smoke.
I gotta
on the
move up to
street.
this bus for cover because it is dangerous where we're standing.
He is hot. Oh, behind you, on your right.
Thank you for saving my life, whoever did that.
Loading! Loading! Yo, yo, hold on!
What the hell is it?
Let's go!
Alright, go!
Oh, I'm back.
One, you're 6.
You have stamina in this game? Or
Not that I know of.
you can just run forever, huh?
Yeah, your run speed and movement capability is tied to the weight you're carrying, though. So if you go real light, you can run faster. As long as they don't mortar us, we should be safe in here.
Shot's clear!
Oh no, we gotta defend that. We are so
Enemy
fucked.
is sending a counterattack! Wait for them!
Let's go get them! No problems, Habibi! I'm reloading! We need smoke! No!
Trey Metal, this is not Apex now.
Insurgency Legends. Apex Sandstorm.
You should run!
I like when you talk and they talk back.
Hey! Hey! Drop your weapon! Hands up! Drop your weapon!
Squires, this is really fun.
Incendiary out!
Wait, hang on! You should run! Get back! Get
It's an
back!
interesting take on some existing stuff in FPS, but definitely cool.
Oh, wait, damn it!
Brothers! Ikhwa, check in!
I'm fine! Hey, we should move!
These
Okay,
guys over
ready.
here!
Foxtrot secure.
Some dickhead shot me!
Wrong ones! Wrong ones!
We gotta hit the G spot here.
Okay. I'm going in the building with you. Did you close that door so you could kick it open?
No,
I totally saw you do that.
it's not my fault. I'm so baller.
Oh god. They're shooting at us.
Yeah, we're capturing Gulf.
Okay.
Enemy is sending a counterattack! Wait for them!
Alright, we gotta defend it for 3 minutes.
I could be better.
Technical coming. There's no more technical.
Damn.
I finally used that rocket.
That's impressive. First time I've seen a good explosion.
Yeah, one time I did that and the truck blew up in the air and it came off and cut my head off as it flew past the balcony, the explosion.
Collateral damage.
It happens.
They're coming up the hill on us.
Yeah.
How's the... Oh, here we go. Oh, they came up behind me. They're about to come in the building.
I got the guy that got you.
Okay.
I'm gonna shut that door. Make him work for it. Although this guy's caught between the door and the outside.
That's pretty great.
Stick around. We got Charles is here. Am I the last one up? I can't be.
I think
Me and Mute. It's just two of us.
Hey, enemy are on the objective.
come on. Minute 15, you got this. You're losing G. Why does it say you're losing it?
Because there's more bad guys than there are us.
No.
Now I'm blocking their cap. This is bad.
Yeah, down the stairs, dude. On your left. Nice. That was amazing.
Mute's still alive. I don't know where he's at. No, he's across the street.
We have contact.
Haqdalak inshallah.
Over there.
You should run.
There's enemy here. Fuck yourself.
Intimidate.
Yeah.
Haqdalak inshallah.
Is it just you?
The teammate's across the street. I don't know what he's doing, but it's just the two of us. Oh my lord.
This is intense. Shut the door.
That's enemy.
Down on the ground now.
يابا كرك ضرب блядь.
Come through that door, boy.
You should run.
Hey, talk some more. They're coming, fuck.
So we still lost even though the other guy was up because he wasn't on the cap and they had the cap since they had more than we did. I shouldn't have gone in there and got murdered, but I tried. Hey, I did get most defensive kills though.
Mm-hmm.
Our teammate, who we lost because he wasn't on the cap though, he got his 48, so good for him.
Why wasn't he on the cab?
Because he was sniping, dog. You gotta get those kills. Kills are more important than winning.
That makes sense. Got it.
I mean, you played online before.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the moments like that in the final though, when you're really trying to win, like it gets tense as hell when you're the last person.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when your ammo kind of starts to disappear and you got to pick up random guns.
Yeah. That's what happened to me. I was doing okay until my M16 ran out. Ow.
Hands up. Drop your weapon.
I'm gonna start out with my pistol this round.
Good luck with that.
It's my new strat. Let me see if it works. I hope.
Well, we got him. That guy had a bad day.
Speak up, we okay? Get some smoke out there!
Set the crazy on fire!
Smoke on the door.
They're launching mortars on us. It sounds like
Any guys over here?
this is bad.
I need a pickup! I need more men! Get over here! I need backup! Hey!
Oh, that guy almost hit me with a Molotov.
What?
Back door in the kitchen.
Reloading! Hey! Hey! Drop your weapon! Okay!
Yay.
Do we got a guy that's not playing or something?
Not that I know of.
They're just standing there.
They might have wanted to go pee or something.
Yeah, that's possible. You going to B?
That's the goal. Right now I'm just wrecking everybody. Every once in a while you'll get in the zone and you'll turn into a Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
Sniper up here in this pillbox somewhere.
Taking the scenic route. Whoa. What was that big explosion?
I used my rocket on the weapon cache
Nice.
and the two guys that were laying next to it. There should be pieces laying around up there. Probably of me too.
You're dead?
Oh no, I'm here. I'm still in one piece too, surprisingly. I'm back because
Oh god.
the weapons cache was the objective.
I got wrecked. Apparently a Sonic the Hedgehog poster has surfaced for the movie,
Uh-oh.
and it looks...
It's even
Get
creepier
that.
than the last one.
Yeah, it looks even worse. If one could imagine something worse.
But is the movie going to be worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
That's a tough one, man. I don't know.
Hey, I'm reloading!
Hands up! Drop your weapon! I need backup! Brothers! We took Charlie! Great! What?
You guys all okay?
No can do.
I'm good. Yeah, good to go.
Suspiciously quiet here.
I like the respawn mechanic.
Over here!
You're not always just out for the round kind of thing.
Oh my lord. And that's why you always reload your gun.
You're out of bullets.
Oh, it wasn't that magazine.
It's got such a minimal HUD, you don't really know.
Mm-hmm. So if you're not sure what you got in your magazine, if you hold the R key down, I'm not sure what it does on the controller, but it'll pat your chest, and you see the ammo you've got chambered up, or in the mag. I'm assuming whatever the reload button is on the controller, probably the same one.
I just figured out how to use the intimidate thing.
Nice. Now you're on your way to shit talking.
It's a left bumper with like a weapon wheel function. I'm just gonna keep spamming intimidate.
Yeah, depending on the character you pick and the voice, it changes all the things they say. Some people are clean mouths, some people have dirty mouths. Try not to set yourself on fire.
He saw that.
I saw you take a little chip damage from it.
Yeah, that wasn't the best idea. Oh god!
R.I.P.
No! I'm so stupid.
Frozen Beast is the only one left. He is up shit's creek here. Thing is, the AI can hear when you cough like that, just like you can hear them. It's pretty cool. It's the one advantage of taking a gas mask is you can put it on and you won't cough when you get smoked.
Hmm.
And also, if they use mustard gas, you can live.
Who's the developer for this?
New World Interactive.
Cool.
I think Focus Home is the publisher.
Yeah.
This guy is a pro.
Frozen Beast? I'm watching.
If this guy clears it, I'm gonna become emotionally attached to him.
Yeah. Yeah, Frozen Beast.
Yeah, Charles wrote us a story about New World a week or two back. Based on the success of this game, they're expanding their operation to begin new development. I think got a new studio, possibly.
Are we all okay?
That was crazy. We spawned in a room with two of them.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm okay.
This guy had a bad day.
You gonna add the "Had a Bad Day" song to the soundboard?
Absolutely not.
That was worth asking.
The soundboard will develop as our skills as streamers develop.
That makes sense.
We did debut the Stained soundboard during the Division stream on Friday, though.
Yep. Die!
Oh man, I just took a grenade right in the chest.
You're still alive.
I think it was a smoke grenade.
Yeah, well,
Still hurt.
yeah, there's gonna be some frags to it, right?
Charles, this is Asa's first time playing the game. Surgeon, it's a little bit like that. It actually reminds me a bit of a first-person Rainbow Six Vegas terrorist hunt, or whatever the mode was in Vegas 1 and Vegas 2.
Yeah.
A little bit like that. A little bit like Soldier of Fortune 2 with the way the bodies come apart. A little bit like Counter-Strike, obviously.
These are all games that I like. That you're listing off.
Mm-hmm. And it's got an interesting gunplay.
Yeah, it feels like the gunplay from like an Arma a little bit less simmy, like you said.
Yeah.
No, I'm digging it. I prefer this to a battle royale, personally. Oh, a drone!
R.I.P.
What the hell was that?
They used a drone on you. Oh, all of you are dead, eh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh man. That's just not right, what they did to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at you here.
They're capturing some.
No.
We lost 3 times, so that means the end of our run.
Like the attempt to shoot a drone in the room. Was that not what I should have done?
At least know what you do there. Somehow I had the most kills and headshots. That's crazy. I knew I was feeling it on that round. Alright, what do you think? That might be a decent stopping point for us here, or a break, or...
Yeah, I think this makes sense. We could cut it off.
Before my blood pressure goes any higher from the intensity.
But man, I'm digging this. I like it.
Yeah, this is gonna be in our official rotation going forward for sure.
Yeah.
I know Charles has got it, a few others probably, and it's fun. The patch is out this week, so guys, check it out. The game is also, I think it's only $30 brand new, and that's full price. So, you know, you don't have to put yourself in the poorhouse to get involved. And I'm gonna show off here for the folks that just how cool you can be. I'm gonna switch my head to someone cool like Matt. He might be cool, but my hair, it's gonna be swept back like my real life hair, and then change his voice. More importantly, we're gonna go to my best piece of cosmetics. Give me something to break. Did it all for the nookie.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The Fred Durst's backwards cap.
That's the first piece of cosmetic stuff I bought with my insurgency dollar.
So the game offers you. Can you shortcut the insurgency currency for actual money?
I don't think that's possible. You just have to get level ups to get the money to get the gear.
That's awesome.
And there's no way to give them extra money unless you just want to buy their older games, as far as I know.
Well, that's
The other cool part is if you're in the main menu and you click history, it automatically makes full-blown editable recordings of everything you do. So we can go back and crank up the maximum settings or whatever and do replays of the matches we did. So you go and just click the play button and it loads it up, and so it puts us back in with Captain Nixon and mute. And right now on this stream, it's going back to show the full replay. And this was in from the very first day.
And it saves your replays for 40 days.
Yep. So it's very cool that it works like that. I'm trying to think of anything else to support. It's got a tutorial I've never tried, so I can't say if it's good. Local play, I'm assuming, is just solo versus the bots. Again, we only played the PvE mode. There is full-blown versus and competitive modes, and those have even higher player counts. There's a new arcade mode. I'm not really sure what that is because I got added with this patch this week. I hadn't had a chance to play it, so who knows.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's just the arcade mode this week. It's just straight team deathmatch, no objectives, just kill more than the other team. So that's cool. And I think that covers it. And it's got, you know, a lot of good PC-centric settings, everything you could think or want. So that's Insurgency Sandstorm. And today has been the Y World Electronic Sports. We had Blake in earlier, had to leave for a prior commitment, but you guys talked big about Hearthstone Winter Championships. There was lots of talk about EVO. There was also talk about the CSGO tournament, the Intel sponsored one, I believe.
Yeah, the IEM in Katowice in Poland was pretty damn lit. I gotta say that, like, if we're ranking my favorite esports to watch, CSGO's moving up rapidly, but yeah, Rocket League remains my favorite thing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Smash is up there, and then yeah, Overwatch League, not really that fun to watch, but we're gonna keep covering it because it's an esport, right?
That's what they tell me.
That's what I hear. And then yeah, we really need to get Ozzy on here sometime because he is our Hearthstone expert. And yeah, you know, rest in peace to all those celebrities that died today and the ones that'll die tomorrow. The ones that died.
We'll miss you forever, Dylan, on 90210.
You know, he was a Cleveland Browns fan. So
Yeah.
shout out to Luke Perry. But yeah, I don't know. There's you start to feel old when all these people that were like, I don't know. It seems like a lot of '90s stars are starting to pass away.
What happens when we find out that AC Slater's in the nursing home?
AC Slater's in a nursing home.
No, I'm just saying that's going to be something that happens one day.
You know where I see him a lot because I travel a lot. He is the voice of Inside Edition, like he's like the host.
Uh-huh.
And hotels, it like auto plays on their TVs. So I see AC Slater like almost whenever I check into a hotel. So that's why I was so shocked to hear that he was in a nursing home, because I had just seen him in Vegas in January. I'll probably see him again in March in San Francisco. But yeah, protect Mario Lopez at all costs, I think, is really the moral of the story. What else did we learn today? Oh yeah, we learned about Wendy's sweet and sour sauce.
They've rebranded the wrapper for their sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah, I'll take some pics for anyone who's interested. I'll post it to the brief dump, and then I'll post it to Chatty maybe. Yeah, the same thing. Or to Twitter, I mean. There he is. There's our boy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. All of his glory. Sup, Preppy. Right?
Well, I feel like that may be a decent stopping point. Lucci has already asked us to go good night, so
Yeah, Lucci, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks everyone who tuned in. Thanks to Arm Squire, Slayer Bill for the bits. Thanks to all of our new followers, all of our subs. Go to shacknews.com. Follow us here. We're on Twitter at Shacknews. We're even on Facebook if you like that garbage website. But yeah, that's it for the show. That was a pretty good episode 3. Pretty good.
Not too bad. All right, guys. Well, Rosvin Blake. I'm Chris, a.k.a. The Wolf, a.k.a. not the Drizzle King. Signing off on Monday, March the 4th. Catch us next time on the Shacknews Twitch.
Yep. Later.
Sound muted.